everyone instead.
And we are live. I'd like to take a call to order.
I'm here.
Welcome, everyone, to the Council of Jeremys. I am your president, Proper Jeremy, and with us today is our vice president, Force Ghost Jeremy.
Hello there.
And we also have our chairman of tourism, Puerto Rican Jeremy.
Hey, Papa, how you doing? How's everybody doing? Good. I hope everybody's good out there. Come and visit, you know.
All right. And we got Hallmark Channel Jeremy, the minister of propaganda.
When you care enough to send the very best.
All right. And we got Redneck Jeremy, who is our self-proclaimed janitor.
I mean, I got to pay the bills to, get the marriage with my cousin, but, I can do it the best I can,
Well, we wish the best for you. And we also have Clone Commander Jeremy, our commander-in-chief of the clones. How are you?
I don't know how you guys became the president and vice president, because I didn't vote for either of you.
Well, you weren't a part of it at the time. And at that moment, we can get into that later, how that came about.
I'm just saying, clones are slaves, so I didn't get the opportunity to vote anyway.
You are no slave. Order. All right, and we also have Caitlin, the keeper of Jeremys, that brave soul that has kept track of over 150 Jeremys and counting.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Caitlin. Very nice to have you here. And last but not least, we have the Mr. Pete channel, who is changed his name to Mr. Pete is Jeremy for a day, our outsider, my co-host and guest of honor. Welcome, Mr. Pete.
Hi there. I'm here to represent all the non-Jeremy clones out there.
All the Annas, the Odin accounts, and
basically I'm like I'm a representative of the Phantom Menace. So I'm like, I'm a little bit, I take in a little bit from all the spectrum. So yeah.
It's right. We don't have Coconut Jeff in here as a guest.
Well, I wonder why. All right, and we'd like to thank Chick-fil-A Jeremy and Yoo-hoo Chill Jeremy for providing refreshments today. And we'd like to take, speaking of which, we'd like to take a moment of silence for one of our fallen members, Juicy Juice Jeremy, who has become Force Ghost Juicy Juice Jeremy. He was captured by the Annas, and it's very unfortunate what happened. Unfortunately, we did have to kick him out for various reasons, his profanity and whatnot. Silence your phones, please, as we continue the meeting. And we just want to take a quick moment of silence for Juicy Juice Jeremy. Okay, that's enough. How is everyone doing today? Speaking of the devil, Chick-fil-A Jeremy, welcome.
What's going on, everybody?
Awesome. Oh, goddamn, ain't that some Chick-fil-A around there on the table, my boy? There's some Chick-fil-A. Oh, my God, he's in the restaurant.
Can I take another break as I said I would be? Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good.
In the words of William Shatner, aren't you supposed to be dead?
All right, everyone. All right, we're gonna drop the facades for a second. It's great. It's great having you all here, the Air Army. It's it's an honor. It's an honor to have everyone here. And I just want to go ahead real quickly and just address the elephant in the room. The reason why we're here is because of one man who has really taken really everything, by storm, like the Phantom Menace. He was a huge part of that. And a part of the reason why we are all here together is Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Jeremy, I don't know how you guys all discovered him, but I discovered him back in January when I think he had less than 1,000 subs. And I was very upset by The Last Jedi. By the way, everyone was talking about the 1-year anniversary. That was yesterday. Nope, it was not. It is December 15th officially. So this is officially the 1-year anniversary. The movie that has brought us all together, Star Wars: The Last Jedi, which is careers of so many people just because of how shitty it was. And it's just so impressive.
This stream is just like my trailer park. There's shit all around it, but we're all united together as one. You know what I'm saying? We're all one happy family.
Yeah, it's so great. So I just
amen, brother. Amen. A year of mourning.
Lyman.
So, okay, whoever's phone that is, please silence that.
Not mine.
All right, no, you're good. You're good, Force Ghost. All right, so I just want to go down the list and just for one moment, you know, just take a couple minutes to talk about your experience with Geeks and Gamers, how you came about the Fandom Menace, and what drew you to it, what made it special, and why, and what Geeks and Gamers and the Fandom Menace means to you. And we'll start we'll start down the line. We'll start with Caitlin, the Keeper of Jeremy's.
Well, how I found Geeks and Gamers was kind of weird. So my brother was showing me all these, you know, weird videos, and he showed me, I found this one video called How the Last Jedi Should Have Ended, and that's how I found Jeremy, because I saw his reaction, and then from there I just kept watching his videos. And you know, I have like obsessive tendencies, and my obsession, you know, turned to Geeks and Gamers, which is a problem, but it's all good.
That's why you didn't stop after 20 clones.
Yeah, seriously. And well, Chick-fil-A Jeremy is muted at the moment. Hey, nice avatar, Clo Commander Jeremy. That wasn't there a little while ago.
Hey, I've had this one before. I was advised to change it. I tried changing it, but Google for some reason wouldn't let me. So
well, that's not very nice of Google. And for some reason, it's not showing up when you talk.
Oh, fair enough.
No, it's okay. We could see it though. So, Clo Commander, how about you?
Admittedly, I found Geeks and Gamers in a very roundabout way. Because I was noticing problems with Disney Star Wars back when The Force Awakens came out, really. It always bothered me how everything felt. I mean, admittedly, I've always grown up on sort of classic movies where they're very self-contained stories, like Star Wars, for example. So the fact that The Force Awakens felt so... everything fell into place so conveniently, and it seemed to rely so much on a sequel, that really bothered me, so I began looking around, and then I found Jeff at WorldClassBullshitters. And it was only after, I can't remember how long ago it was, that I actually discovered Ethan Van Sciver and Geeks and Gamers. Since then, I've basically been watching every single video on the live stream.
All right. And Force Ghost Jeremy?
Hi there. Sorry, I was just repairing one of my lightsabers. Literally. So yeah, I came across Jeremy kind of by accident. I was just on YouTube, and I came across one of Ivan's videos, and I can't remember which one it was now. And he was just saying how he was really surprised that this guy called Jeremy from this channel called Geeks and Gamers was liking his stuff, and he was really excited about it. And I was kind of, who is this guy? So went over, had a look, and I've been following him ever since, pretty much. So yeah. So
all right. And go ahead.
No, I mean, as you guys probably know, I mean, it's kind of not an obsession, but I kind of had a bit of fun. I did the cosplay at London Comic Con. I dressed up as Jeremy, and
all right, we'll talk about we'll definitely go into that, because that was really that was impressive. I was genuinely it was really cool to see you do that, and you even got the hat too.
Yeah, I mean, I was just lucky. I already had the hat, and it was just a coincidence that I had the hat already. And I thought, well, I've got the hat, you know, what else do you need? Just a shirt and a lightsaber. And so yeah, nice. It was no, I had bought some Yoo-hoo and went ahead and yeah, it was good fun. A couple of people kind of like Geeks and Gamers. Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't not a huge amount of people recognised me, but it was fun. I was a little bit worried that maybe someone might come up and start calling me a sexist, misogynist, and all that, but no, it was all good.
Yeah, not too many people are as confrontational in person for sure. So how about a Hallmark Channel, Jeremy?
Well, I was just on YouTube looking for Star Wars stuff and come across one of Jeremy's videos, and I liked what he had to say and his just his attitude, and Star Wars brought me to him and his attitude kept me, I guess you'd say.
Right. Okay. And next up we got Mr. Pete is Jeremy for a day.
Yes, the question is how we first came across Geeks and Gamers Jeremy's channel. Right? Yes. Well, just like many others, I'm practically subscribed to like every Star Wars channel on YouTube, and I believe I subscribed to him right after The Force Awakens. Now, I believe he had around 1,000 subs at that time, maybe a little less. Does anybody remember? I know it's a long time ago, but
less than that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been subscribed to him for a long, long time, and I'll be honest with you guys. At first, I really didn't closely follow him that much because, if you remember, he really liked. I would say he loved The Force Awakens. I just thought it was a mediocre remake of A New Hope. That's how I feel about it, but I do not hate it nowhere near as much as The Last Jedi. I mean, it's an okay movie, it's all right. The Force Awakens. So, I gradually, like follow him, but after the debacle that was The Last Jedi, when he really changed his tune. That's when I started following him more because he was finally speaking my language, so to speak. Yeah. So, yeah, and like, I remember when he used to do other stuff, like when he would talk about like Marvel more, but he's pretty much a Star Wars channel now, and I do, I try to watch as much of his content as possible. Although I haven't been. I'll be honest with you. I haven't been watching him as much because I'm doing so much. I have my own channel and I'm so busy and I'm busy at work. So yeah, it's a juggling act. Yeah, I do respect his vision and his opinion.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely something that you kind of got to get used to. He's very straight up and straightforward, and sometimes that can throw a lot of people off. So I definitely agree on that. All right. Next up is Puerto Rican Jeremy, if you're able to talk.
Hey, Papa, how you doing? If I'm going to go into how I came into all of this, I come from Collider. I come from Schmoes No. I come from Screen Rant. And back in the day, in the old days, if you guys remember, you could tell a movie was garbage. You could just say that this is garbage. And all that changed. These people, they started muting me. And I had these friends in the chat, and I would talk to my friends in the chat, friends I've had for years. And all of a sudden, I would speak and no one would answer. I would wonder what is going on. Why can no one see me? I feel like I'm a ghost, kind of like Force Ghost Jeremy. And then I discovered I've been muted. I tried different accounts and they kept muting me. And I just went away from all that. But I had this art channel called, ComicArtistProp Secrets. And he never muted me, always let me be myself. And then I went on to see the High Council. And I discovered all these wonderful people that were, even though they don't exactly have the same opinion, because Jeremy kind of liked The Force Awakens, but Jeff hated it. You know what I'm saying? They were allowed to have different opinions. They could voice it, and the chat was allowed to be themselves. And I've been in since then. Hard and strong. I've been in part of the fandom menace ever since then.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Redneck Jeremy.
So I can break keyframes now?
Go ahead. You can do whatever you want, man.
Well, I'm just glad I can finally take this off my head and I can actually be myself. Yes, it's Brighton behind the screen here, and I do realize that Confederate flag is not going to look well down the road, but but really though, I mean, I don't really care anymore at this point. It's just all a character. Main point is that, but to answer your question, I found Jeremy through actually within the related videos. You guys do remember whatchamacallit? It was when Ryan Johnson basically said, like, you know, hey, look, I have this atlas or guide or whatever from Star Wars, and it was like expanded universe, like legend stuff. And he was
Book
like,
of the Jedi. The Book of the Jedi.
Yeah. He basically said that this is why Luke can force project. I mean, I didn't care for that, but in the related videos, when I was subscribed to Monday Net Matt, please do not ban me from the channel, please. Main point is that in the related videos, I saw Jeremy, but it was a one-off thing, and I just said, oh, okay, here's this Jeremy guy, all right. But then what really happened, and I was really getting paid attention, because way before Jeremy, way before even like The Force Awakens was all starting up, there was a channel I watched, and I'm not going to get too much about him because I know it's a bit of a controversial subject. Star Wars Explained, Star Wars Minute, Alex. I was a big fan of his content, but as you know, something happened between him and him. And then I started to follow Jeremy. I was like, okay, this Jeremy guy, okay, all right. I started watching a lot of his videos, and he had this attitude that it was very rare on YouTube that I don't really see, and this is just in general. He's raw, is straight to the point. He's like porn, basically. But the main point is, no, but really, he's a guy, because like I'm not trying to like, you know, talk smack or anything about like EBS or World Class. Like, they're cool guys. But the thing is with Jeremy, he was just different. He was just a guy who turned on his camera. He spoke his mind and everything like that. And just in general, seeing his path of going from proper Jeremy to regular Jeremy, because literally I see the whole proper thing as kind of a metaphor of who he used to be. Because if you look on D-Day Cobra and what he used to be on his channel, like very quiet and very, you know, scared to talk and then seeing him just come out and be himself, like I was like, dude, we need more people like this on YouTube. And it actually inspired me to really work upon my confidence skills. And yeah, like, I mean, I jokingly call him dad, but in general, I'm serious when I say this, is that he is very inspirational in what he's done. He may not realize it, but yeah, no, he's awesome, man.
That was very well said, Brighton. Very, very well said. I don't think I could have said it better myself. But I will, admittedly, though, I really don't think that proper Jeremy definitely was not, you know, made because that used to be what his former self per se. But I will definitely, you know, but hey, I mean, that's kind of cool how you thought of that, because that's something I had never really thought about before.
Well, I'll explain what I mean is this, because if you watch in his old videos, like I said, you go on D-Day Cobra, especially, I think it was like, hey, to Simon Pegg and the prequel haters, where he said, our Lord and Savior John Campea. I wish he didn't say that, but I thought that was
God.
Cool. Yeah, he did actually say that. I was like, oh my God, this aged like milk. Main point is, within his video, he's all so quiet and he's afraid, he's worried. He actually reminded me of a lot of myself. But really, though, I was looking at this, but like I said, he said multiple times in his streams, you guys know the story, he was afraid to talk about this. He had within himself, like, his personal life to talk about this thing, but he was thinking to himself, like, would I divide this community and like this thing I've been working for and like paying a lot of money into? But then, like I said, he grew up here and he said, you know what, fuck it. The gloves are coming off. I'm going to speak my mind. And I just watching that transition, like, I'm serious. I look at that and that actually makes me a bit emotional, because just seeing that person come out of a cocoon and become like a butterfly, basically metaphorically speaking, like, I don't really see that a lot of people. That takes a lot of strength for somebody. And I, especially knowing his backstory and just seeing how he's finally achieved this, like seeing all of us here right now, a year ago, this wouldn't be happening. We're all kind of naming ourselves after Jeremy because of how awesome of a guy he is. Like, really think about that for a second. Oh man, a headphone came out of my ear, but whatever.
You're good. You're on a roll, man.
I know, but it's just like, God damn it, God. But anyways, main point it is. Sorry, man. I'm cool with you Are we cool?
Jeremy is a butterfly. Oh my God, Odin.
Yeah.
By the way, just a quick second. Welcome everyone to the chat. We got 34 viewers right now. This is incredible.
Wait.
What's up, Geeks and Gamers?
Whoa! Oh my God!
Hello.
What is up, my brother?
What's going on, guys?
Peppermint chocolate chip milkshake for Jeremy in the chat. What's up?
I've been listening to you guys, and I'm having a blast. And I'm also sitting here with someone else. Do you want to say hello?
Oh, I think I already know.
What's up, everyone?
What's up, Ivan?
Me.
Hi,
Ivan.
Hey.
Hola.
You finally allowed him out of the trunk.
I thought you were building the wall, Ivan.
Caitlin.
¿Qué onda, Iván? Qué bueno verte. Me alegro que estés por aquí con nosotros. Dios te bendiga.
Wait, oh my God, which is which? That's the real Jeremy. Oh my goodness. Here he is. My goodness, that's him. That's him.
Can you see us?
Hey.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah. All right. Can they see us?
Yeah.
Okay.
You have a very beautiful face, Ivan.
Yeah.
Hey, Jeremy. Hey, Ivan. What's up?
Look at that hair. Look at that hair.
Bask in the greatness. Bask in the greatness.
Jeremy, I'm just going to say this one thing.
You guys want to tease?
Whoa! Oh my God!
No.
Hey, does he have an NPC shirt on?
What Brighton?
Yeah.
Does Brighton have an NPC shirt on? Oh,
PPC. I was like, they make NPC shirts now? That's awesome.
Yeah.
That seemed better because it's in the style of the NWO logo. But yeah, no, I don't mean to like shove aside everybody, but like as I was saying in the chat, it's a really big honor to actually talk with you guys. What? Oh no, I made it myself, man. I made the logo. It's a political thing. That's a story for another day. But the main point is, like I said, with Jeremy and Ivan, it's actually great to be actually talking with you on stream, and it's meant a lot. And I really wish everything's going well for you guys right now.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. We appreciate it. And you
Can
know,
you bring the cookies?
we do. I mean, Ivan and I, we've been sitting here listening to the live stream, and you know, we're just two regular dudes, man. You know, we're just like all of you.
But Jeremy, that's what's the appeal of you. That's why we love you, man. Because it's just like I said, not a lot of people on YouTube are like that right now. We have all these Logan Pauls and all these like super polished YouTubers, and here's like two guys here that just turn on their cameras and give their opinion. That's not really all that much in this world anymore. I think everyone in the chat can agree with that.
I'd like to
go ahead.
I'd like to quote the Foo Fighters. There goes my hero. He's ordinary.
I like that. I like that, Papa.
Yeah, and if anything, if there's anything that I feel that I want anyone to learn from me, it's to be yourself. Be yourself. Speak your mind. Say whatever you think you need to be. That needs to be somebody off. So you might as well piss them off by being yourself. Yep. And I learned that the hard way. And you know, I've met so many awesome people in this past year. People like Ivan and, you know, all of you and people that you know, we're releasing. Ivan and I are releasing a video a little bit later today where we're kind of doing a recap of the last year of The Last Jedi and what it's done for our lives. And it's obvious that we've benefited from The Last Jedi being a piece of shit. But without us getting out there and speaking our minds and going against Disney, which is kind of that's an intimidating, you know, idea at first. Ivan's in the editing game, so going against Disney, not really
a smart move.
A good business decision.
It's really not.
I own an entertainment website. Going against Disney is not a good business decision, but with the support we've gotten, but with the support we've gotten, you know, we feel like we're not alone, and all of you have given me credit, Ivan credit for showing you guys that you're not alone, but that's exactly what you've all done for us, you know.
Hey, thanks, man. That is very well said. And by the way, Facebook, what's up? What's up? I'm sporting the shirt today.
Nice. Nice. All right, I'm going back to stream. Ivan's got to go editing. Say bye. Say bye.
All right,
Hey,
bye
see you.
everyone.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, by the way, Jeremy and Ivan, for joining us. For even just for a short period of time.
I'm just gonna turn the camera off just so I can take the speaker back off to you guys. So
yeah, I'm gonna turn my camera off too. This is really awkward.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. So anyway, I'll shut up for a few minutes. If you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask me, I'm all yours. So.
By the way, everyone, I've met with Jeremy a few times, so I've already said most of what I wanted to say. So if you ever want to ask Jeremy a question, and everyone in the chat too, by the way, thank you. We have 35 viewers right now. This is pretty awesome. I'm really excited about this. Yeah, I'm really excited. Smash that melee button if you don't mind, like D-Day Cobra would always say. If you guys ever had an opportunity to ask Jeremy something, now is your chance. Go ahead. Just anything goes, man. Anything goes. Let's go.
And by the way, Brighton, I want to shout out for comparing me to porn. That's one of the best compliments I've received in a long time. So I really appreciate that.
Oh man, I really wish we had the reaction to that on camera. I would love to see that. No, dude, actually, I was picturing that in my head. I was like, dude, I'm going to say this one day to him. And he's going to laugh his ass off. Should I do it on stream or in person? Because if seeing him in person and reacting to that'd be amazing. But I got it. But yes.
No, but real quick. But like I said, listening to everybody talk right before I came on stream, it's just I'll sit there and Ivan, and he can sit here and he can shit talk me now because Ivan and I are legitimately personal friends. Okay, so like. I sat there and I said, Ivan, do I deserve the attention I get? He goes, fuck no. But now this is someone that just a few months ago, when he had his first phone call with me, he was like, I gotta breathe. I can't believe I'm talking to Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. That was our first call. He was fangirling on me. Now I'm nothing. I'm just like, yeah, dude, you're a loser. Get out of my face, But just hearing all the kind words from everybody. I'm 39 years old. I've been doing this for a long time, and I've never felt more accomplished and more motivated in my life, and it's because of all of you.
Hey, Jeremy, that's what I was exactly saying, though, as you probably were hearing before you came into the live stream, it's just like, dude, a year ago, I really want you to think about how much he feels right now. And like, I'm that considerate guy that thinks about people within their shoes. This guy literally went from about a channel with 800 subs, and now he has people making parody accounts of him. There's people here coming together as a council of parody accounts because of one guy. And to him, he just sees himself as a guy, but to him, he's just a guy that is inspirational, can stand up. He has brass balls, and he's not afraid about what you think. He doesn't care if you think, he's an asshole or not. Because you know what? I'd rather him be an asshole than a pussy. I'll tell you that right now.
Because each account is uniquely its own. I mean, yes, you're proper Jeremy, but you're also uniquely your own. You're like, Jeremy is himself, and I will be myself too. And that's kind of what I saw in Jeremy, that he became himself. He maybe had adjusted to a little bit of the surroundings and suddenly decided, you know what? No, I need to be myself. I need to speak my mind. And that's pretty much everything that we're doing around here. You got to do it, Papa. You got to be yourself,
Yes. And it is true. It's true. I mean, the person you've seen in the past year, that is who I am in real life. And I was neutering myself online because you put yourself out there 100% and you don't know, is the world going to reject me? It's been, and that's I don't care how anybody in the world can say that they're confident and all that crap. Everybody is insecure. Every single person. We all have our insecurities. There are different levels of insecurities through different things that we've gone through in our lives that have impacted us in different ways. We all have insecurities. So when I turn the camera on, especially when I first started, there's 1,000 things going through my head. Are they going to make fun of this about me? Are they going to make fun of that about me? Just like anybody would, anybody. And so luckily a lot of that didn't come, but it may still at some point, but it's a scary prospect to put yourself out there 100%, because if you don't put yourself out there 100%, then you're like, okay, if they reject me, at least I'm going to fall back on the excuse that, well, it's not all me, that I'm kind of putting a facade out there. So, that way I don't have to take full ownership and have all those insecurities eat me alive. But when you do full go on all yourself, full force, full blast ahead, and if that gets rejected, that can rip you apart. You know what I mean?
No pun intended, by the way.
All right. Yeah. By the way, we're gonna address some of the comments right now because we don't want to just it's great talking amongst ourselves. This is awesome. But if we, just from experience,
a good host, go for it.
We definitely gotta, we gotta acknowledge that for sure.
It's mostly people saying hi to each other right now.
Oh, okay. Well, there are some questions and comments like. What is this? Chalua Jeremy? It's like his
Chihuahua Jeremy.
Chihuahua.
Oh my god. Chihuahua. I can't read. I can't read. I'm becoming regular Jeremy right now.
You're becoming regular Jeremy. That's right.
Talladega Jeremy says, will the real Jeremy please stand up? Hey, what's up, Dion?
He can't stand up. He doesn't have legs.
that was a comment. Do you have legs, Jeremy?
I heard PewDiePie saying this the other day too, because he's always said he doesn't have legs, and then there was like a meme of him at a grocery store where he's pushing a buggy. He goes, "This is a lie. I don't have legs." So yes, I don't have legs. Any image you see of me with legs, it's much like probably Darth Maul in the Clone Wars, where they have been reattached because they were non-existent. So I don't have legs.
That's like fans.
And go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that's probably what happened with your balls, because I think it was Brighton who said you now got brass balls now. Back when your channel started, you probably had them cut off at one point.
Surgically removed.
Removed properly. Brass balls. You're going to platinum. You're going them platinum balls. That's the road ahead.
Diamond, damn it.
Oh, diamond. I like that. I do like that.
That is perfect. Sith Kryptonian. Question for Jeremy. Question of Jeremy. Nope. Sorry. No, I'm just kidding. He asked, by the way, thanks, Jeremy, for stopping in on the Senate a couple of times. That was really cool of you. He said, will you join the Senate sometime? I don't know.
Yeah, I would love to. Yeah. Well, yeah. I would love to join over there on the Sith Kryptonian live stream anytime. I mean, my time, the busier you get and the more notoriety you get, I mean, it's almost impossible to keep up with everything. And I hate not responding to people because it makes me feel like I'm too good for that. And it's not really the case as much as it's just busy. No, it's not like I think he's referring to his, like the one I commented last night, correct?
Yeah.
Jeremy. Okay, yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
And so
he should have made you he should have given you a wrench. Missed opportunity, Seth.
I'll check that out. Thank you for referencing it.
But I'm more interested in joining smaller, and I don't mean smaller in a disrespectful way, obviously, but just up and coming channels to show respect to them, because I get big channels asking me to come on their channel all the time, bigger channels than Geeks and Gamers. And, I look at that and I'm just like, fuck you. Why didn't you call me when I had 800 subscribers? Why do you want me on your big channel now that I got 100,000 because you see that I'm rising? You don't want me on your fucking channel. You want my fucking following on your channel. So fuck you. I'm not coming on your channel. I'll go to a smaller channel that's got 100 subscribers and talk to them because they're grinding and they're trying to do what I was trying to do. And that's what I care about. So when I have these big channels all of a sudden, hey, Jeremy, you're doing a great job. Go fuck yourself. I was doing a great job when I had 800 subscribers, but you didn't give a shit, so now all of a sudden all these big channels are all like, hey, Jeremy. I can't stand that, you know what I I mean? So I'm more interested in
PewDiePie. That's the only one, right?
Oh, no, PewDiePie, dude, I will fangirl if PewDiePie calls me. I'll fangirl. So, but the thing about PewDiePie is like, the reason I love PewDiePie so much is because this dude has 75 million subs. He has 75 million subs, and he's still doing the daily grind. He's still doing it from his random room that looks like a 2-bedroom apartment, downtown Chicago or something. You know what I mean? Like, he's really grounded, and that's what I really appreciate out of him. He's not Logan Paul, streaming from his $4 million mansion every day.
I hear the girl that threatened him got fired from Ubisoft.
Yes, I heard about that. I think the quartering covered that. The developer got fired that was calling out PewDiePie.
Papa.
So, but yeah, back to the point. Yes, I want to give my time to channels that are trying to get traction and trying to grind and get some notoriety. So when I do have that free time, that's what I want to turn my attention to is channels that have a few hundred subs and are trying to learn the ropes. Not that I have all the answers, but I know how I would have felt when I had, a few hundred subs, and if a channel with 100,000 subs was like, hey, I want to come onto your channel. And you're like, what? Because those people never acknowledged me when I was, at 100 and something subs, the John Campias of the world, and all those people never acknowledged my existence, And I knew how it would felt if somebody would have acknowledged me. So that's what I try to keep in mind, is that type of perspective. So, all right, I'm shutting up. This isn't my show. I apologize. But anyway, that's to answer the question.
We're giving as many people.
It's the guest of honor.
Yes, the guest of honor.
Yeah, but we're going to give as many as much time for people to talk with you as possible. By the way, thank you once again, Jeremy, for popping in. You definitely didn't have to do that. I'm very very happy that you've done that, and I really got to give you the utmost respect for that, just for that and everything. And thank you for reaching out to me and letting me call you when I had my appendix taken out. That was really awesome of you. By the way, Jeremy's appendix account, which is not me, by the way, is somewhere in the chat, which is awesome. And speaking of the chat, I'm gonna try to get to that first, and then.
I want to make one more point too. You don't have to thank me. All of you. How many of you in this chat now? Like 8 or 9 people.
There's in this
like
chat, and then the 33 people currently watching.
8 or 9 of you, and then there's another 20 or 30 in the comments. All of you as individuals have decided to show support to me, to Geeks and Gamers. You could do anything in the world, and you just decided to show your support to me. It is, and I'm going full Chick-fil-A Jeremy. It is my pleasure to be here with all of you, and I mean that. So.
Well, thank you, man. Chick-fil-A Jeremy, I think he actually works there. So.
When he came in, he actually was airing what he was ordering at Chick-fil-A and actually like putting the ketchup packets in and everything. I was like, that's dedication right there, my friend.
If I may interject real quick,
Yes.
While I have to break, because I didn't get a chance to talk about my history with Geeks and Gamers. And
just speak up a little bit, real quick, and then we're gonna get to the chat. I'm 10 minutes behind, so everyone in the chat, I'm gonna get to you as quickly as possible.
Yeah, so just real quick, very similar to Force Ghost Jeremy, I found World Class, then EVS, and I remember the first time I saw Jeremy was the live stream where he met him at Toys R Us. And that was one of the best live streams I've ever seen for sure. I love when he smashed the Rose Tico Funko. And after that, I've been with Jeremy ever since. And yeah, Jeremy, I love how you stay true to your roots. That's something that resonates with me a lot. And it's truly my pleasure to support you.
Thank you so much.
Very well said.
All right, so proper Jeremy, I've got about 10-15 minutes max, and then Ivan and I've got to get back onto editing the project. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. So.
All right, yeah, cool. All right, so you got 10 minutes. So I'm gonna read some of the chats real quick. Aaron from Geeks and Gamers says, he has a question. Jeremy, did you assume my gender when we met in person?
No, when I saw Aaron, when you sat down to pee, I knew your gender. So,
all right.
That's Aaron. That's our podcast manager with geeksandgamers.com, Aaron.
All right, so I'm going to skip down a little bit. So if anybody in the chat has questions, just let me know. We'll spend like a good 5 minutes with that, and anybody who's in the chat right now, then we can conclude when you guys are. You can tell Jeremy anything, ask him whatever you want. It's all good.
Can I just
go ahead real quick?
Turn sideways. Hello to baby Force Ghost Jeremy.
Congratulations.
That's awesome.
Jeremy and the baby girls there.
Please do not make a Twitter account about it already.
That is awesome.
That is amazing. All right. So
I want to thank you for making new fans.
Is there an F? Is everything okay?
Oh, okay. Probably trolling or something.
Okay. Is everything all right?
Yeah.
They mean F as in this is effing awesome.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, that scares me. Now I understand. You know,
it happens to me every time. Every time, I'm like, wait, what are those Fs for? Is it stream lagging?
Or the sevens. Remember, I'm the one who made that.
Yes,
and I gotta say this to Jeremy. Every time he's during a stream, he's like, "What are the sevens for?" I laugh and squeal like a fucking little girl because I'm like, "Oh shit!"
All right. Okay. Max Whitmore has a question. Have you seen Hello Greedos, the Last Jedi Anniversary video? It brings up a lot of good points and brings a lot of context to the reactions.
I have not. I typically don't watch Greedo anymore. Used to be a big fan of that channel, but I may check that out.
Yep. I was the first one to leave a comment under there. So I was first, but I was first. So if you scroll down, you'll see my comment. I said that you know, if this movie was like just set up to change things, it totally failed. So that was my simple comment. You know, it wasn't overly negative. You know, it wasn't something simple like saying, "Oh, this film sucks," blah blah blah. You know, you got to back up your points with, you know, valid expressions. So
there's nothing in the multiverse that excuses how they treat the fans.
Yeah. Right. Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay. That's vulgar on their part.
You know, Papa?
Honestly, with me, I used to be a fan of Hello Greedo along with another channel who we will not mention. I will say this. I stopped giving a shit about Hello Greedo when I found out he was saying like, "Oh, I'm going to unbox the Star Wars toy for you guys." And I'm like, yeah, you know, that pretty much says everything about your bias towards like everything else and everything like that. Like, I mean, we're all biased to some degree, but that's saying something. He's basically showing out for like an industry and ignoring any form of criticism because he's paid to, like, you know, advertise the product. I think that's a little BS.
Okay, and I had a question up here. Yep. All right. Winning Jeremy said this isn't really a question. Just want to thank Jeremy for getting me out of a Star Wars depression. I've been a fan since the midsummer of this year. I have also made 3 Jeremy accounts. Well, good for you, Winning Jeremy. Awesome.
I've made 10.
Oh, okay. This is a competition. It's quality over.
I know. I just thought.
It's you guys causing me this pain.
Yes, it is, Caitlin. I'm sorry.
I'm here with Puerto Rican Ivan, you know?
I only ever made 1, I swear.
Oh, and real quick, since I have Caitlin here. Caitlin, you are amazing, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do, and not only keeping up with the hundreds of Jeremys, but also keeping me on point with my sleep schedule. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you better go to sleep right now.
You're playing, Jeremy.
All right, Star Wars for Life. Star Wars for Life says it's our pleasure to see you every single day in the chat because you care about us. Look at what you have created. You are awesome, Jeremy. Yeah, well, look what you've done, Jeremy. Look what you have done.
Come on, Jeremy.
I'm blaming all of this on you.
Yes, and Star Wars for Life is amazing too. She knows that.
Jeremy has a lot of responsibility here because he was the first one.
I'm not the first. That would be Jeremy's hat. And by the way,
Jeremy's hat was first?
Yeah, that's Laura. And there were a couple other people who wanted to join the chat. If you guys, you know, I kind of wanted to like rotate and everything just to like get a chance to talk to him, even though he's just about to leave. If anyone wants to, like, you know, voluntarily leave and come back, you can, but, you know, you don't have to if you don't want to.
Well, I want to say thanks to Jeremy for being there. I also want to say thanks to Ivan for being with me on World Class Bullshitters for the fan film show. I really appreciated that. It really came through. It was a really fun show. And to share with Ivan was a lot of fun. And I want to thank Jeremy for having a channel where we are free to be ourselves in the chat.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That got me out of all the other channels.
Whammy.
Absolutely.
Someone can pop in. I'm off a break. And Jeremy, just want to say thank you, man. It's good to speak to you. Love you, bro. Everything you do, man.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right.
I can also voluntarily leave because Mexican Jeremy left.
All right.
Jeremy,
right. So, guys, unfortunately, I'm going to have to bounce because, like I said, Ivan and I are actually working on editing this project that I was working on in LA last week, and Anna and I were working on it last week in LA, and now we're over here editing it down. I can't give a lot of details about it yet, but I promise you it's going to be amazing. I'm hoping that at the end of the day or by the end of the weekend, I'm going to be able to have an actual date, which I'm pressing Ivan to see if I can get this out by the December 30th, and it'll be released on the Geeks and Gamers channel. And if I'll give you more details when I can. The reason I don't want to give too many details is because I want people to be surprised when they see it, but it will be released completely on the Geeks and Gamers channel. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. I want to thank all of you again. I appreciate it. I do not deserve the attention you give me, but I take it with the utmost responsibility. And with all the responsibility moving forward into 2019, Geeks and Gamers is in far better position to succeed this year than we were last year because we have revenue, we have the following, we have a passionate fan base. And with your support, I think we're going to kick the doors down and we're going to take over. So I appreciate everything from everybody. Even when we disagree, I got your back. And I thank all of you for putting up with me. I know sometimes I'm difficult to deal with, but I think that's why you guys like me. And so I'm going to keep being me.
I wouldn't say like.
Swig of victory for the Roll Tide man. Swig of victory for the Roll Tide man. And shout out to Odin and Anna.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide for the working man.
Hey, Celebrity Jeremy. Sorry we couldn't get you in earlier. I didn't know there was a 10-person limit.
No worries, man.
Real Jeremy. Real quick before you leave, I want to tell, like I was telling these guys, Star Wars brought me to you. Your attitude kept me, but one of the things that actually inspired me to start putting out some content is when you're like, I'm a flawed individual, I'm not perfect, all that, and just. Yeah, you're definitely one of my inspirations for actually putting myself out there.
Well, thank you, and I think the internet tends to make us want to project. Just in general, we all want to act like we don't have flaws, and even me. I mean, there's times where I'll try to, I don't know, set the camera up a certain way. I want to look a certain way. We all have that. It's in some way, shape, or form. We don't want to show the world every flaw we have. But when you show your flaws, you show your humanity. And I have flaws on camera. I have them off camera. I have them professionally. I have them personally. I have things in my past that affect my present, that will affect my future. I've made mistakes. I'll continue to make mistakes. I'll try to learn from those mistakes. And I have no regrets because and nobody should have regrets. As long as you learn from your mistakes, it's not a regret, it's a learning opportunity. Don't run into that wall over and over again. Stop running into the same damn wall. At some point, you need to figure out, hey, I shouldn't walk in that direction. There's a damn wall there. So learn from the mistake. Don't hit the wall again over and over again. So
jump over it, crawl under it, go around, whatever, or drill a hole in it.
Right.
Celebrity Jeremy, real quick. If you had anything to say to Jeremy, go ahead. I'm sorry we tried to get you in earlier, but
no worries, dude. Hey, so Jeremy, basically I wanted to say that I am so glad that you did that rant on the value of individualism. I think that was back when you were around like 22,000 subs or so. And I was just a drive-by scouring the YouTube verse, and I saw that rant, and you know that hooked me, and been there since. So I want to say I appreciate that. That was good stuff.
I appreciate it, and yeah, I think individuality is a very strong thing that everybody should embrace, because this is a world full of people with different opinions, different thoughts, and we're not all going to agree. I'm sure half of you cringe when you hear me say I still like The Force Awakens. You're like, oh, God, come on, Jeremy, but that's individuality. And so I'm one of the 4 people on the planet that likes Mortal Kombat Annihilation. You have to own things that you're the minority on. And so
I quite like that movie, actually.
Oh, see, then 5. Okay, hey, 5. Caitlin, if you can start a Mortal Kombat Annihilation list of people, it'll keep you. It'll keep you a lot less busy. It'll keep you a lot less busy than the Jeremy board. I promise you.
Well,
Caitlin's going to start demanding to get paid by the moniker now.
Give me money, please.
I have an idea. If you use the Streamlabs, we can just super chat you, Caitlin.
Yeah. Well, I tried to set that up, but you know, shit happened a couple days ago. But anyways, Melissa Anderson said, I asked Staples on Twitter if they had a discount on paper for Caitlin. They responded with a sale deal, which was cool. That was absolutely amazing. Rookie Critic, I'm sorry, we are full. You can join in a little bit.
Well, yeah, you're about to have a free spot because I'm fixing to bounce. So, but anyway, again, I just want to thank
about that. Anybody who I'm sorry I didn't rotate earlier. I didn't know when or how long.
How long are you guys? How long are you guys going to be on?
We'll probably be on for a while.
Okay,
at least an hour and a half, maybe, or it depends on how everything goes.
Ivan, where you at, Ivan? I don't know where Ivan went. What time is it right now? Because I'm on my phone. So
12:50 Pacific.
It's 4:49 Puerto Rican time.
It's 3:50 Eastern time.
I may be available to join in about another hour and a half, so I'll see if you guys are still on. And
we're still on. Yeah, no guarantees, but either way, we'd like to thank you so much for just dropping in. That means a lot to me. And but everyone in the chat,
I want you to tell Ivan that I'm here with Puerto Rican Ivan, and if anything goes wrong, he's willing to trade places. So he can Puerto Rican Ivan and get right back in there.
I hear you on that. And so, all right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day from there. I appreciate all of you. Continue to support everybody affiliated with Geeks and Gamers, and we'll continue to work hard for all of you. And I will talk.
Hold on, sorry, one more thing for Jeremy.
Okay.
I have to do it.
I can't see anything, so I'm straight up on my phone, so I can't see a screen.
Jeremy, if I could mention one thing.
Real quick, man. He's got to go. He's a very busy man.
You mentioned about the world rejecting you. It kind of did. We're just a small vocal minority.
Say that again now.
I said you said about the world rejecting you. It kind of did. We're just a small vocal minority, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember that's what they said. But look at Solo,
All right.
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Jeremy, once again.
Hi, Jeremy.
Thank you so
much.
much.
Real Jeremy.
we might stay on Alpha Dog. Yeah, we might have more special guests come in if that's cool with everyone. Thank you so much, Jeremy. Best of luck on the project you're working on. It's everyone is. I've heard it. I've heard what he's doing, and it's really exciting. Thank you so much for joining us. And if you're available in a little bit, then yeah, absolutely. Thank you for stopping in, man. I really appreciate it.
Before you go, remind Ivan that he has really nice hair.
Ivan, I'm supposed to remind you that Caitlin says you have nice hair.
It's like a shampoo commercial.
Thank you, Jeremy, and thank you, Ivan, for saying hello as well. I know you guys are both busy. All right, thanks.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good day, okay?
All right, hey, you too. Bye.
Bye.
May the Jeremy be with you.
Woman.
All right.
God, that was amazing.
Yeah, we just lost half our viewers now.
No. We want to eliminate those viewers by talking about sports.
Okay, so the chat, I want the chat to know, stick around, because he said he might come back, so you might want to stick around, Papa.
Oh, man. I am upset with Caitlin right now. I'm serious.
Why?
Uh-oh.
So you're saying my hair doesn't look good? Excuse me?
No,
you know what? I'm going to make an account called White Ivan. I could easily pass as him. I can cosplay as a white version of Ivan.
Oh my God, no. Stop.
You'll be White Ivan. White Ivan.
Nonsense.
No, I think Redneck Ivan. That could fit, Redneck Ivan. Definitely. I see it.
All right, so Celebrity Jeremy, I know you're under Brian because I told you to come in at the last second.
Right.
If you want, you can change to your other Gmail account to Celebrity Jeremy if you want, or whatever you want to do. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this out. I don't see where it's actually allowing me to actually change.
Oh, it's when you first join the chat, it'll give you the option at the bottom to switch accounts.
Oh, and it defaulted me into the Mackie guy.
Yeah, it defaulted you. It defaulted you there, but you could just switch it real quick, and then you can pop right back in.
All right, let me. I'll hang up. I'll come right back.
All right, cool. See you in a second. Well, that was awesome. So I know so Jeremy actually said a few days ago or a week ago, I'm not entirely sure, that when I announced this, that he said I might join in for a second, but then I told him I DM'd him on Twitter, and I told him, like, hey, dude, shut up. Like, I don't want this to be a surprise for everyone, you know. And hopefully everyone was all surprised and ready to go. You know?
No, actually, you did tell me that in the DMs, and I was like, dude, did you have to just admit that part? Because I feel the pressure on me, man.
Oh, yeah. I said he would be watching the stream afterwards. I didn't say he'd be joining us.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, I know what you're saying. Come on. I ain't stupid. Come on. Come on. I got me pumped up for this. But really, though, dude, I thought it was awesome. He came in right around the same time. I think he was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to join. You know, I'm going to get my guy who's been working on the lawn for a little while. He can join the stream, too. Why not? But,
thanks, Jeremy. All right. Yeah. I'm going to add you as a moderator.
Yeah, he had to show these poses how it was really done.
All right. The proper Anna's back. All right. Star Wars for Life. I love all of you, Jeremys. So we're not going nowhere. You guys are awesome. We're here to stay. Hey, thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm gonna go and look through the comments real quick, or if somebody else wants to, even like go through the comments, and if you guys see something,
I'm doing that right now.
Jeremy, you see the No Beard Brighton?
Oh my God, wait, he's in there?
Oh yeah, there's a parody account for you, man.
No, I know that, but I didn't know he was there right now. Oh my God, I'm getting in there right now. I'm getting in there right. Oh shoot, wait, hold on. Does anyone have the link for the actual like YouTube stream? Not like this one, but
just search Proper Jeremy on YouTube and you'll find it.
Yeah, I'm just about to search Proper Jeremy.
Here, I'll put it in our channel real quick. Here we go.
Yeah, okay. No, because I gotta see this. This is for scientific research right here.
Right. Okay, Celebrity Jeremy, what's up?
Hey man, good to be here.
Oh my god, I never even noticed that. It actually says that. I'll present you real quick. It actually says Celebrity Jeremy on the Walk of Fame. I actually live a half hour away from that. That actually looks really good. That looks so awesome, man.
Yeah, well, Caitlin was trying to help me out, trying to find an avatar, and I was trying to find a picture of Jeremy where he was actually smiling, because I had this idea where I was going to make this avatar and put like some funky star glitter glasses on him and call him Celebrity Jeremy, but I couldn't find any footage. He was always looking too serious anytime he was looking at the camera. And
the same facial expression in all of my screenshots except that one.
Right. And exactly. It was like you know, the limited emotional range of regular Jeremy was not working for me. And but then I found this little thing online where you could actually type in like a little GIF for put your name on a star, and it generated that. So I was like, so I sent it over to Caitlin to see, you know, hey, is this stupid or this is going to work? And Caitlin liked it, so I
like it. I think it's good. This is me. I talk with my hands. This is what I look like. So you know what you're looking at. That's what you get. You know, this is the Puerto Rican Jeremy. But I think that's good. I like it very much. I think it's beautiful. You know, Papa.
Yeah.
So a question for Celebrity Jeremy that I asked everybody earlier.
Right.
What made you like what was it that led you to discovering Geeks and Gamers and oh, what?
Just I'm reading this. No, okay, sorry. Very quick.
Go ahead.
The No Beard Brighton account. I have a friend of mine, Nathan. He actually may pop up in the chat here. He's just a guy I know in real life, and he was looking at my channel because he was like, "Yo, man, your channel's exploding. It's awesome." And he was looking at the community thing, and basically, No Beard Brighton posted on one of my posts, and I was in the bathroom. We were just chatting at his house, and he was just like, "Hey, Brighton, could I ask you about something?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, man. What is it?" There's this account called No Beard Brighton, and he's calling you sexy. Could you explain this to me? And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. And then I told him, and I was explaining the whole Jeremy's and the Jeremy universe, and he was like, the fuck are you even talking about, dude? Like, what? So it's just like, no, he was just puzzled on what the hell was talking. But dude, no, I was looking at this account, I was just like, dude, actually, I think I may even know who it is. But I'm reading this, I'm just reading it from like a fangirl's perspective. It's just like, yes, he's so sexy. I love him so much. And you know, he's just got a beautiful face and beautiful beard. I love it. But anyways, but it's just like, I'm looking at this comment and he's just saying like, yeah, I'm here. I'm a sexy boy. Yeah, I'm a man's man, baby. But
that's wonderful.
All right, so
You were saying Celebrity Jeremy?
Yeah, Celebrity Jeremy, go ahead. What led you to discovering Geeks and Gamers and the Fandom Menace? And what made you? By the way, this is a question for everyone too. After Celebrity Jeremy is finished, what also made you make your parody account? What inspired you to do that?
Oh yeah, there's a story behind that.
Oh hey, Rookie, what's up?
Hey, not much, man. Just popping in.
Oh yeah, what's up? Yeah, okay, Celebrity Jeremy.
Hey,
go
Ricky.
Ahead.
Hey, Pete.
Hey, so basically,
We have a couple special guests, by the way. Just are gonna pop in and say hello. Yep. Okay, so go ahead.
Yeah. So basically, to answer your question, there was a day I was bored, so I was just kind of putzing around on YouTube, looking at interesting things, and being a Star Wars nerd myself, the Geeks and Gamers YouTube channel just happened to pop up in my feed, and I think it was just the topic of comparing The Last Jedi to a lot of the social justice warrior stuff that's out there, and me being a rabid anti-social justice warrior person myself, I thought, that looks interesting. I'll go check it out, because I'm really freaking sick and tired of being the only one that's beginning not to like The Last Jedi. And so I just kind of happened across that, and then watched a couple of episodes, and then the one, like I was saying to Jeremy earlier, when he really went off on the value of individual, which is a value that's close to my heart, that really resonated with me. So that's when I hit the subscribe button, and kind of been lurking ever since.
One man, I like that.
Oh yeah, it was.
Wow,
the whole thing about trying to edit your speech so much is an activity in futility. And so I've always appreciated that about the Geeks and Gamers community being all about, hey, we're just going to be real with each other. And if you don't like it, that's life.
Yes.
And I like that.
Wow, man. Okay, so I just want to acknowledge that Force Ghost Jeremy has been having so many wardrobe changes throughout the whole stream.
No, he's just showing off all these toys, and I gotta say, I love it. I wish I could play. Look at all this stuff back here. Look at all this stuff.
Yeah, man, he's got his man cave set up. His new man cave.
Oh my God!
I want that helmet.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Can you
see out of that?
You good? All right. Oh my God, that's so awesome. How many different helmets do you have, dude?
This one, I have the.
I can barely even hear him.
We can't hear you because you have the mask on.
There you go.
A real mask could have a microphone in there.
Yeah. I made one for a cosplay. It was actually a crossover between Daft Punk and Darth Vader.
Oh shoot! So wait, you actually made those?
Darth Vader?
A normal helmet you buy, just a normal helmet. Got on eBay, and then I actually coated it and did it.
Cool.
Myself. So,
that's awesome, man. So anyways, question for everyone right now: what made you? We could start with whoever wants to, speak first. What made you make your specific Jeremy parody account or multiple accounts? What inspired you to do it? And yeah, pretty much what inspired you to do it and why? Yeah, that's it. And anyone could go first.
Okay, I'll go.
Oh, go ahead, man.
I'm Puerto Rican, and
No.
I'm not. I'm straight, but I'm not a white male. I'm only 1/3 white. I'm also 1/3 Native and 1/3 Black, like all Puerto Ricans. And this is pretty much because they were trying to invent this narrative that he's some kind of racist, that he's some kind of all these crazy things that they say. And I was just like, no, that's not what he is. People all over the planet agree, and it's just a bad movie. And stop vilifying people who disagree with you with all this slander. And I wanted to be Puerto Rican Jeremy to show that Jeremy has support all across the planet, all across different races, and that I think he's good people. And that if they're gonna try to say he's a white supremacist, they're gonna have to deal with this Puerto Rican right here. Papa?
Yeah, Papa.
Awesome.
Well said.
Right.
Well said.
What was Force Ghost Jeremy showing on the stream? I can barely see it there.
Oh, sorry. No, it's, even my prescription glasses are actually got the Star Wars logo on them.
Hey,
Nice.
that's cool.
Joe, I'm calling Joe.
All right, so Force Ghost, Jeremy, I guess you know that I gotta just honestly admit that was the account that surprised me the most when it came out, and your Photoshop of your avatar is absolutely brilliant. If you want to just show everyone real quick what that is.
Yeah, let me just turn the video off.
Yep,
that one there.
That is this is incredible. I got to admit, I don't know how you got that and from what stream. So and you can take it off if you want, you know, up to you. But yeah, that is a really job well done. Very impressive.
I just got a picture of Alec Guinness over on Kenobi. I think it's Return of the Jedi, and I just went through one of Jeremy's streams until I found I could pause it at the point where he was facing in the right direction. It was just, I went through, took me probably half an hour just going through, no, that's blurred, no. Until I eventually got him facing in the right direction. And literally, the program I use is actually called Paint Shop Pro. It's an ancient program. It's probably 10, 15 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Same as Photoshop. And
I might be older than some people on this cast.
Yeah. Literally, just cut it out. You can just go around and you can paste it in as a floating image over the top of the face, and it's just a matter of blending it in with a brush and, you know, sizing it up right, and it came out really well. And I did some others. I did one. It was a Harry Potter one that I put on Twitter and Instagram, which was it was Jeremy, Ivan, and Anna. There's Harry Potter.
All right. You have some talent. I think you do have some talent when it comes to the, photo manipulation.
Oh no, dude! I honestly think for somebody who has about 11 years of Photoshop under his belt, I'm actually pretty impressed with that icon. So I know that's not an easy task to do.
Yeah, I was also impressed by his collection because I gotta say, how much money is invested in, I mean, from your prescription Star Wars, for them to try to say you're not a real fan or something. I would be offended, for you, because I see the amount of, actual money that you spent on this franchise, and you should have an opinion. You should have a right to it. You built, you put a lot into it.
Right.
That's a good bit of money. About how much would you say your collection would be costing you, and how much is it worth?
I have no idea. It's been over a long time. I mean, I'm now 45, and I've been watching Star Wars since I was 4 years old when it first came out.
Dude, I could not tell at all. You are a liar right now. You are a goddamn liar.
Yeah, dude, I was about to say, dude, you look like you're about like in your early 30s at least.
Yeah.
I'm thinking you may need to lay off the facial cream, dude, because
oh man, no, dude, I think that's the thing with being a Geeks and Gamers fan, or a fan of Jeremy in general, is that we achieve immortality. Because if you saw me with a beard, you probably think I'm 30 years old, but then I shaved this off like you guys see now. I look like I'm 2 years old compared to some people, as somebody said to me. Yeah.
Kylo Jeremy in the chat says, "Why am I not Jeremy #1?" I don't know. You could.
You're number 2 if you know what I mean. But no. Shout out to Obi-Wan27383. I aced that shit right there. But no,
yeah, he's a great guy. Thanks, Obi-Wan.
He's fucking huge, dude. Sorry to swear, but oh my god, dude.
Oh no, go ahead. It's fine.
No, but dude, he's like 6'5" or something. Dude, he could probably rip Jeremy's face off for 2 seconds, probably.
I imagine so. All right, so it's been a little bit since the rookie's gotten in here. What's up, man?
Going good. Just thought I'd pop in for a little bit and say that I'm proud of you, man. You've been growing really quick.
Oh,
really
thanks. Fast. Yeah, I mean, this is the first stream I've ever done, so it's just I'm trying my best from what I've learned and all that, and you know, it's just all about trial and error and everything. You know, like when I first started the Hangout, for some reason it didn't let me have all the moderator settings. Like I was just a guest, I couldn't even go live if I wanted to.
Yeah, that was weird.
So, yeah, that was kind of a mess, but it's all good now.
Does your control room work?
Yeah, everything's fine. Everything's working perfectly normal. Fine.
Yeah, well, Padawan.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I got all my Christmas crap out of the way today, and I freaking hate people, but you know, all that stuff.
Yeah, I definitely didn't listen to the advice of having 10 people in at a time.
Yeah, well, hey, considering you still did a good job being a host and moderating, that's been pretty good. Usually people talk over each other. It's been pretty good in here. You guys have all been a good guests as well, so good job, guys.
Oh, hey, thanks, man. Yeah, did you just real quick, like, did you have any you know, what did you think of the hashtag Chair Army? Whoever came up with that. I don't know. I don't remember who that was. Who made a title for us Jeremys? But what did you initially think of it when it was starting at first, and just from an outsider's perspective? Same question could go to Pete as well, and anybody else.
All right. Well, for me, I mean, it just seemed kind of normal for a while because there's so many Jeremy names popping up. I was like, oh, of course there's a Jeremy Army. No, that's normal after a little while. So pretty much what I thought. What do you think, Pete?
Jar Jeremy?
Amazing helmet, by the way, there, you know, Force Ghost. But
yeah, nice helmet. Yeah, pod racing for the win.
We now have 164 Jeremys. There is a Kylo Jeremy in the chat.
Woo! All right. That is awesome. By the way, thank you, Caitlin. You have done such an amazing job. I can't tell you. Yes. Round of applause. Oh, hey, what's up, Dion? Yeah, you are doing great. Cheers to you, sir. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
I just talked to the Rookie Critic channel, and if you can say hi in the chat again, other people may do what I did, which is what I saw his what he said, and there's like 3 little dots on the side, and I just subbed to his channel. So if you say hi in the chat, more people in the chat can do that. You know, I'm glad to meet you, and I'll be watching your content. You know, I'll be watching your content moving forward.
I think you're watching the content in the bathroom. It seems like that's what it sounds like, but
no, I heard an echo. Yeah. Headphone. It has a little bar that goes up and down, and I had it up, but I brought it back down. I'm gonna mute myself. You guys talk amongst yourself. I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Hey, I can predict the future right there, as you guys can tell. But
well, I was wondering why you look like Mike Zero.
Oh, what are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Yes, that would be you.
I look like Mike Zero. Okay, I haven't really watched all of his content. No, honestly, I think I look more like Ivan than anything. I could pass off.
No, you're Mike Zero now. You gotta live with it.
Yeah, you'll take your nicknames.
All you need is the dartboard.
Okay, I didn't even watch a lot of his content, so I don't even get a lot of these references. But I do know that he posts like the most random ass rumors on like Star Wars. He posts like 10 videos a day or some shit.
Yeah, it's really ridiculous. It's just absolutely ludicrous. Okay, so Joseph Saviano in the chat says, "Hi guys, have you seen the incredibly biased Esquire article saying misogynist trolls derailed Star Wars?" Who has seen that Esquire article?
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, that I didn't get to see it at first because I had other things to do. You know, I was a bit busy there.
Like breathe.
No, yeah, well, no, the appendix removal, but everything's fine now. Clearly, you know, I'm not dead, so yay. But yeah, that was something I wanted. Thank you. And so I just wanted to ask everyone, whoever wants to chime in, what did you think of that, the Esquire article? Personally, just real quick, I thought that it was very odd that a fashion magazine was commenting on The Last Jedi, but that's just me. But what did you guys think about it?
It's more of the same, dude. I've been there. But really, no. I've been around since Gamergate, since 2014. So when you are like red pilled on that, because that was like my big red pill moment of realizing how a lot of the media industry works and how they all have an agenda. It was quite there. Even when I was growing up, I could kind of see it, but I couldn't really put my finger on it. But I'm glad that nowadays we have a lot more people like waking up to this crap. because about 10 years ago, I wouldn't have predicted that, honestly. Because it's just like, it's great that we have people like Jeremy that actually, like, you know, are speaking up, and that we're all here today to kind of debunk a bunch of this crap that they're trying to push on. No, you know what? Guess what? It was a crap movie, and you can't actually up to your, you know, your bullshit in that regard. So you actually have to deflect and act like a child. Like, that's the thing. You can mock the prequels, but you touch the sequels? Dude, you melt down like a snowflake. That's ridiculous, dude. Like, I saw actually a meme from, like, what was it, Prequel Memes? You guys know that little Twitter bot on Twitter?
That guy's awesome.
Oh, I love that. He put out a meme. It was like saying, like, when prequel fans, like, you know, see a meme or a joke about the prequel trilogy, it just shows Anakin laughing. And then it shows, like, sequel fans when they mock the trilogy, and it's, like, shows them crying. And it's, like, perfect representation. They act like a bunch of bitches when they can't handle over a joke or a meme or anything, but they'll just go, that's misogynist, that's racist, I do not like it. You're a grown-ass fucking adult, and if you can't accept that people are going to make fun of your shit, then, dude, like, don't even call yourself one. That's all I got to say. But anyways, wow, man.
I think it's actually I think it's actually even a little bit worse than that, because there's so much of the agenda that's part of it. So I don't know how much of it is, do people just honestly like, you know, The Last Jedi and they can't handle the prequels, or is it, well, The Last Jedi had a purpose, and if you say something that rejects the purpose of The Last Jedi or what we were trying to say, or alienate the audience with The Last Jedi, then we're going to come at you with the only thing we've got. And in typical SJW fashion, they go, you know, they take the route of doing a personal attack. So I'm thinking, you know, you look at the articles like Esquire or some of these media shill sites, you know, particularly the ones that are more opinion oriented rather than news oriented. I think you get into a lot of the default pattern is to attack the credibility of the person who's making it, right? It's typical courtroom crap. Yeah. So it kind of depends on who. They both kind of say the same thing, but I think there's really two different directions that this attack is coming from.
Yeah.
All right. Somebody who hasn't talked in a while, feel free to jump in.
Me?
Yeah. How about me? Seriously. That kind of happens with a lot of people. So speaking of which, we may have to rotate in a little bit. If that's all right.
Yeah, it's okay. So Proper, what was? Please repeat the question.
Oh yeah.
About was it shill attacks, or please state the question again.
Oh, it was about what did you think of the Esquire magazine and how it and how it also I guess a better way to put it is also how how it kind of reminds you about how the fandom menace started to begin with, and just how it is as what I want
the
evolution after the last year. That's
right. Okay, all these I'm sorry, somebody said it's like more of the same. Yeah, it's more of the same. What has?
Oh, that was me.
Yes. Professional criticism is pretty much. It's gone down the tubes. It's like if somebody says, "Oh, I don't like NFL football," and like the person's answer is, "Well, you must be a racist then because it's 75%, played by minorities." It's like no, I don't like it because it takes over 3 hours to get through a game. I prefer soccer, and it's like. It's like we don't like it because we don't like it. We don't like it because a person is a woman or a person is a minority, and they can't seem to get this through their heads. They just can't. I don't know why. It's just this. It's too much of an agenda. It's too much of an agenda they're wrapped up into.
Honestly, sorry, I know like we were going on a rotation, but I'm going to add some very quickly. Like Jeremy said, a lot of us, like the common folk, just wants to go out and escape. We don't give a shit about the agendas, the politics. Like, dude, there's a time and place for that. So when you're colliding these two, you're just dividing people, and it's just making things worse. And people don't feel that sense of escape. That's the whole point of the arts, is the sense of escape. And when you have that, it becomes a propaganda arm at the end of the day when you just push an agenda. because like even Joe Rogan, I think you guys even saw that podcast. He was like, "Yeah, I see what you guys are doing here with Holdo and stuff like that. You're not fooling me." So,
Ricky's gotta leave in just a second, as he said.
Okay.
Yeah, got another stream in a little bit, so.
Hey, thanks for joining us, man. Sorry I couldn't get you on when Jeremy was on. There's only so many spots to fill. I guess that's
okay.
my
I think
bad.
it's good that the Jeremy had their moment in the light. I stream all the time, so that's totally okay. So nice meeting you guys, though, and you guys have a good one. And it's a nice little collective here. So
all right, see you, man.
Before you go,
take care.
Oh, wait, yeah, yeah.
Before you go,
or sorry, Clone Commander. What was that?
Yeah, Clone Commander. Yeah.
I said, "Hail, Rookie Critic."
Hail, Rookie Critic. And one more thing, since I couldn't do this last time.
Oh, shade.
By the way, yeah, we did a test live stream just last night or a couple nights ago, and I said I'd like to eject him, but he didn't let me do it, so I had to do it today.
well, that was your problem. You warned him first.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's very true. By the way, we're at 47 viewers. This is awesome. So we have more than when Jeremy was on. This is awesome. I'm really excited. Now we're at 48. Holy shit. If we get up to 50, oh my God. That's going to be awesome.
Sensei Mike's going to probably come in when we hit 50 viewers, man. or as I like to call him, Moneybags Mike.
Right. Yeah, indeed. So,
by the way, is he just like a multi-millionaire or something?
I have no idea what he does. Sensei Mike is just kind of a man of mystery. We don't know what he does or anything, but I do know that he just has a job that, you know, does pay him a lot of money, and he doesn't, and the free time that he has, you know, he chooses to spend it, you know, on YouTube, and he has all this money, but like no time. So the time that he has, he'll just throw in like $100 super chat, like, holy shit, we're at 50 viewers. Oh my God. Woo! All right, I'm really excited right now. All right,
this is when the chat starts to go crazy.
Yeah. Oh, and 49 now. Of course. Hey, we hit the 50. That's all good. You know, and it's not the amount of viewers that matters. It's just the fact that anybody's here at all. I'm just I'm so honored. You know, this is amazing. All right, so. What the hell were we talking about earlier?
We were talking about the
agendas.
Oh, yeah. Did you have any comment on that? As somebody who hasn't talked?
I got a question for Proper Jeremy.
Yes. No, we're talking. Yeah, real quick.
Are we going to make this a regular thing, like once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month? Are we going to gather?
That's
talk about whatever subject?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think this is a very great occasion. But we'll wait and see if everyone.
Well, we are glad you survived.
Yeah, that's.
And yeah, I almost was like, I have no idea if I'm going to be able to do it or not. Well,
I also understand that it's the holiday, and right now is not like a great time for setting up scheduling. But you know, if you would like me to come on to your show, I am available to you once a week, once every 2 weeks, once a month, whenever you want to do it, on any subject you would like to cover.
I appreciate that, Puerto Rican Jeremy. You know what? Starting in the new year, I'll definitely give it some thought, because this has been a lot of fun so far. I really have been enjoying this. Yeah, it's definitely something to think about. But everyone in the chat, if you want this to become a regular thing, press 7 in honor of Brighton Chariots. Press 7, and then we'll see.
Just remember, I started the 7s. Remember that. And that was all because of a like reveal. That was all because of the like reveal, and everyone went absolutely nuts. And then I remember when he lifted his pants up, then he revealed the leg, and everyone absolutely busted a nut. That was an amazing moment in time.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. So by the way, I think it was Clone Commander Jeremy wanted to talk about the Esquire article.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I mean, in a way, it's surprising, but it's not. You think after everything with The Last Jedi and watching Solo fail so spectacularly they would want to keep quiet and try not to antagonize the fans, so that maybe they might actually have a successful episode 9. But they seem to lack sense in that regard. So they're reminding us of everything that we hated about the aftermath of The Last Jedi, which is likely going to affect episode 9 in some way, just because of this reminder. I'm not necessarily saying episode 9 is going to fail, because...
Oh, they think we won't solo 9, but we will.
Yeah, I'm just saying, because I mean, Solo was a side movie. I can accept that. It wasn't necessarily as important as the main trilogy.
Right.
But,
okay, you know what? I'm gonna say something here. You could be my favorite burger joint, right? And you are my favorite joint, and I love your burgers. But if I go to you and you say no, you give me a crab sandwich, and I tell you, hey, you know, wait, I'm sorry. If you're my favorite burger joint, and I love going, but you give me a crab sandwich, and you tell me, you know what, you have to eat it, and if you don't eat it, you're a Nazi. I don't care if you serve me filet mignon next time. I'm not going back.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
if you treat me like crap, I don't care right now. If episode 9 is better than episode 4 and 5, I will not give them my money, because they spit in my face. And if you spit in my face, you don't get my money.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. You know,
I'm scared.
It's egregiously insulting. So, Clone Commander, did you have anything else to add to that?
I mean...
Odin's movie blog. What is
Whoa! What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Oh, Father!
Welcome, Odin.
What's up, Odin? How's it going?
It's going great, man. Thanks for popping in.
Of course. I didn't want to cut off anybody. And Puerto Rican Jeremy, that was a great rant. I do like how you were kind of channeling your inner Carlito there for a second.
Hey, you know, Puerto Rican Jeremy from, you know, Bayamo.
I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
All right, so so anyone else have any comments on that disgusting Esquire magazine from the fashion art magazine from all places?
Just a quick point about it. You were like, what does a fashion magazine have to do with movies? Well, there are costumes in movies, so
why aren't they reporting on the costumes then, as they should?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What?
What? Oh, it's a baby Jeremy.
Was that talking too much helium?
That was me. I punched a rubber chicken.
Oh my god!
I'm reading the Esquire article, and it's making me want to punch somebody.
Yes.
Chicken look like your avatar.
Yeah, thanks again. Anybody else have any comments on that, or are we
How
pretty
about
much?
Odin? What do you think, Odin?
I just pulled it up myself because I remember talking about it not too long ago. I mean, yeah, what the hell is Esquire doing talking about this? Like,
I don't know. That's
Top
a great
10
question.
questions science can't answer.
Yeah, a loud movement of racist, misogynist trolls. Interesting.
Yeah, seriously.
Last time I checked, it was Rian Johnson that derailed the beloved family sci-fi franchise, not the fans.
Yeah, exactly. You know, again,
what would I know? What would I know? I'm just a fan. You know?
I think Esquire really.
I mean, adding to that, how did we derail the franchise when we're just a small vocal minority?
It changes every time. It changes every time to fit the narrative. That's all it does.
Right, Russian bots, then the trolls, and they're always coming up with some group to blame.
Oh no, the best thing ever was it started off with, oh, it's just a small group of people. They're not that big a deal. Oh yeah, it's a small group, but you know what? They're pretty loud. Oh, you know, it was a group of Russian bots. You know. Oh yeah, you know what it was? It's just a bunch of white men in their basements.
Man,
it's like it changes every time to try and fit that.
I'm not white at all.
Yeah, because you see them treat their enemy in order to, because they can't fill that void of their own bullshit that they created. So it's like, oh, I got to create the enemy because I can't own up to my mistakes. That just shows a massive amount of insecurity in my view.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point. Celebrity Jeremy, you had something to say in a second, or I know somebody tried to cut you off or something.
I was just thinking that, you look at Esquire or Vox or some of these publications that I think what they see themselves as a or a force of change of culture, rather than of a fashion magazine or a current events magazine or whatever. They're all kind of tied together in this. Hey, we're soldiers and changing the culture of America into something that we want. And so they kind of touch into areas that are a little bit outside their wheelhouse, in their efforts. So I think that's kind of what's behind some of those articles.
I think I know what you're talking about. I think you're talking about the Frankfurt School of Cultural Marxism and their long march through the institutions. They've taken over Hollywood, they've taken over education, and they are laying siege upon the law.
You're absolutely right.
Could he just change his name to Red Pill Jeremy or something? Because he's dropping bombs, man. I'm serious.
Man, the Frankfurt School, I haven't heard that in a while.
Oh,
that's important.
I appreciate it for sure.
And so I was going to say his channel's now going to be gone, guys. It's all thanks to us before mentioning that and naming them.
I have over 100 channels.
Oh my God.
That's too much administrative work.
No, they just keep they keep kicking me out of Collider, and I kept making new accounts.
Oh, cool.
A dedicated man.
By the way, I hate to be that guy, but there are a few more Jeremys who have been really wanting to join the chat. So I'm gonna have to, people voluntarily can rotate.
I will voluntarily leave.
And also, I just wanted to jump in to say hi, so I'm going to step out as well because this is y'all's council. So thank y'all so much for having me.
Odin, thank you so much for. Thank you. Well, it'll be like in 5 minutes.
Oh my God, there's so many Jeremys. Can the real Jeremy please stand up? Because I just.
He already did. We showed his chicken legs.
Well, it's just going to be. Well, it'll be in 5 minutes and whatnot. But oh shit.
Everyone's leaving. All right, y'all have a good one, guys.
Hey, thank you so much, Odin.
Keep up the great stream, all right?
Bye.
Good one. Thank you to Caitlin Alba and then of course Hallmark Channel Jeremy as well.
Shout out to Mecha Random in the chat, by the way.
Mecha Random's in the chat. Hey, what's up?
Mecha's here.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave. I accidentally left.
That's okay. So I'll send out the link to a couple other people. Thank you, by the way, to everyone who's been joining and watching. This is incredible, and hopefully I've been doing a decent job at this. This is a first for me. So, this is incredible that there's even like 51 people watching. We've got 58 likes. Thank you so much. Hit and smash that melee button if you don't mind, like regular Jeremy would say.
Excuse me, proper Jeremy. No, it's the ultimate button now.
Is it the ultimate button
It's
now?
It's the ultimate smash button.
The ultimate
Yeah, man.
Well, let's take a second to Entertainment Hacker. Hey, thank you for joining. Mecha Random, how you doing? If anybody, any of the Jeremys or anybody would like to pop in, there's a couple slots for sure. Just hit me up on Twitter. Let me know. This is a lot of fun so far. Obi-Wan 27883, thank you for being awesome as always. And so earlier I said press 7 for press 7 for making this a semi-regular thing, and it seems like a lot of people would love for this to be a regular thing. Would you guys be down for that? Because I would definitely want to do that.
Like before a major event, like before the release of another Star Wars film, or like maybe the night before The Mandalorian goes on TV. I could see that happening.
Here's another good suggestion. When the episode 9 trailer drops.
Yeah, that is kind of close though.
But I'm just saying.
It might. Well, they said it was going to be on Christmas, but yeah, I mean, maybe once a month or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was talking about. Or do you just prefer maybe special occasions? The chat, please let me know.
I was going to say, I know I'm not the one who's in charge of the stream, but as a suggestion to segue in from this Esquire article, since it is the 1-year anniversary, I was curious. What were your initial reactions to The Last Jedi, and how did you realize it was a shit film?
First time experience. Wow. Oh yeah, who wants to start with that? Real quick, before we get into that, though, we'll do that in just a second. I want to like acknowledge the chat real quick. Cruel Sorrow, as I told Jeremy, I always smash the button. Hey, awesome, man. Entertainment Hacker, yeah, YouTube is a lot of fun. The challenge is making it more than that. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, Jedi Rider Gabby says your Council of Jeremys is sexist. You picked the only female y'all have. I didn't pick anyone.
See, right there, that is changing the narrative right there.
Wait, did you just assume the gender, man? Come on.
No,
yeah.
To hold her here against her will, she kind of left because she wanted to.
It was consensual.
Caitlin says, yeah, I realized how delayed the stream is from when we are actually chatting. Yeah, that's how that works, man. You know, that's totally. Yeah, there's like a 12-second delay. Obi-Wan 278883. Let's roast the trailer. Oh hell yeah! Yeah. Now we can all get together and just like roast the trailer just for like half hour, an hour, real quick, and then have that be that. That'd be really cool. Or like we all make videos together. That'd be amazing. I'm definitely gonna make a video about that. I have to definitely do that more often. Okay. Cruel Sorrow. Regarding the birth of Coconut Jeff. Will there ever be a Council of Jeffs?
Oh my God, that guy's amazing. I'm sorry.
If there's a Council of Jeffs, that is up to the Jeff accounts.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if there are any other Jeff accounts aside from that.
I think there's 2 or 3, but I'm kind of a world-class bullshitter. I've been on around 10 of their shows, and I'm sure Jeff is down with it. I heard him talk about it in the morning. I've been on the world-class bullshitters under another persona, but I have been on a lot of the shows, and I absolutely know that he wouldn't be against it.
Yeah, and they're also that's the only Jeff that I know about. I know Clone Commander Jeremy. You're the first one that Jeff acknowledged when he talked about the JR Army when it was just him and Ethan. So it seems like you're a regular.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm in the UK, so Jeff basically live streams Good Morning Pop Culture right around the perfect time for me. So I'm basically always there.
Nice. Proper Anna does not want a regular Council of Jeremys. I'm sorry, Proper Anna.
What? Special occasion. Special occasion.
No, she thinks JJ's going to save the franchise. And actually, somebody who's been a longtime JJ fan even before Star Wars, man. Dude, I'm sorry, the Proper Anna. I know we're getting married, but you're wrong. I actually don't feel it. I don't feel a sense of the force in that regard.
Proper couple.
I don't
I'm
like
the most
JJ.
improper guy there is. Don't even say that, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like Okay, so let's say I kind of like JJ. I just don't like his lack of testicular fortitude.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with that, man.
Well, I've met
too many lens flares.
I just think JJ. Go on. I was just going to say, I think JJ, there's always what's crazy about JJ is that he's always got the potential, right? To do something really cool. So it's always like, can he pull it off? Can he not? It's always kind of this roll the dice and see what happens. So I think we're going to be disappointed, but there's that little bit of hope that maybe we won't because it is JJ.
Well, let me look at it this way. Look at it this way. First, they fired him because I remember when they fired him. I remember it was reported on Collider. They tried to walk it back, but I remember that they fired him. Then they hired Ryan to destroy everything he did. Okay, so now they're hiring him back to make some crazy changes. We know that these people care more about gaining 10 followers that are willing to kill the rich than 100 that will pay. So you got to look at the reality of the situation. Are they here to make fans or are they here to recruit the crazies? Are they here for a profit or are they so rich that they don't care if they lose their jobs or their profit?
Remember, profit is evil to a lot of these people.
Because they're rich?
Yes. How much, what I would like to know is, because I keep hearing all sorts of stories, like over at Lucasfilm, there's like a civil war between KK supporters and, like KK lovers supporters and a war between people who want to like be closer to like the original trilogy, whatever. How much control does JJ have? Does like, what I want to know is like, is there going to have to be a character with like blue hair or something like that? I want to know how much control he has, because RJ was basically a yes man with Kate.
Sorry, Kylo. Jeremy's in the chat.
Hello.
RJ
Oh,
was
hi.
KK's lap boy.
I am your supreme leader.
At least he has the helmet on.
What's up, Kylo? Jeremy, how are you?
I'm good. Just
I'm
ruling
actually fairly
galaxy.
intimidated right now.
You should be.
Just keep your shirt on.
No.
Careful, it's Star Wars
I'll
Galaxy.
So Kylo, what's up?
I know who you really are. Kylo Jeremy, I know who you truly are.
Oh, so do
No,
I.
you don't. You didn't see my lightsaber? It's cool.
I remember when you used your lightsaber on Lena Dunham, Adam. How's it going, Adam Driver?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
You
yeah.
would be doing a service, man.
Hey, if I was you and that happened between me and Lena Dunham, I would say what you just said.
All right, since we have a couple.
But you know what? I'm really glad. I'm
Yeah.
really glad you got her a role in The Last Jedi, even though you were kind of, you had to watch Luke Milker.
Oh, this is amazing. All right, Kylo, what do you think? What do you
about
think
my
of
girlfriend like that?
What do you think of the Raylo theories? I guess it's a nice transition. What do you think of you and Ray somehow getting together in the future? We can expect that.
No, I like hogs.
What? This is amazing.
Hogs is my girlfriend.
Kylux is love. Kylux is life. Kylux.
Hogs?
That sounds like a type of laxative or something.
Kylux shippers.
Yo, can you get me my Kylux, man? I have the problem of like shitting out this episode 9 script. Could you help me here, man?
Hey, man, you're a redhead. You say too much, he'll take care of you.
All
right.
Who's a redhead?
You are.
What the fuck? No, I'm brunette. What the hell are you talking about?
I don't know. Not on this camera.
All right, guys. All right, guys. So I'd like to talk just real quick. Let's all try to get to a topic because we haven't talked about anything for a while. So I want to ask.
I was just gonna say.
I want to ask everyone in the chat right now, what was your initial reaction when you saw The Last Jedi? What did it make you feel? And what do you think about it thinking back a year later? Starting with, we'll start down the line, Celebrity Jeremy.
I walked out of it. I initially liked it, but I think is because of brand loyalty. It was a Star Wars movie, so I liked it. But as I started actually thinking about what it is that I saw, I started to dislike it. So I'm a recovering TLJic.
All right, and whoops. Yep. And Clone Commander.
Well, like I said, I had problems with The Force Awakens after really the first couple of viewings of it. When I looked towards The Last Jedi, I hoped it would fix some of the problems I had. But right from the get-go in the opening crawl, where after just having destroyed Starkiller Base, the First Order is overrunning the galaxy, I knew there was going to be major problems with it. I mean, there were some vaguely okay parts of the movie, but overall, I really didn't enjoy the experience in the slightest. I mean, hell, I mean, at the end of Force Awakens, what? You had Snoke recalling Kylo to complete his training, and then at the beginning of The Last Jedi, you have Kylo being smacked around like a bitch.
Wow.
So it was very.
That's a great response. It's very
yeah.
All right.
I'm not really sure how to describe my actual feelings of it. but it was very broken to the point where it gave me a headache.
Right. Okay.
Aggravating, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So Force Ghost, Jeremy.
Where do I start? Well, when I saw The Force Awakens, I thought it was okay. It wasn't a great Star Wars film, but I thought, as by itself, it was an okay Star Wars film, and it left a lot of excitement for the next film. And I think we were all excited for The Last Jedi before it came out. When the trailers first came out, and you saw Luke Skywalker's hands shaking as he took the lightsaber, and we all thought, wow, what's going to go on? Is Luke going to be badass? Who's going to be Rey's parents? There was all these theories about Snoke, and at the time, we didn't realise that Rian Johnson was trolling us all with the "your Snoke theory sucks" things he had. And then I was excited. I went in to see the film. We sat down, and the first thing you get is "your mama" joke, and I was just like, and then it went, and then you had Luke throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder. What the hell? Luke would never do that. I mean, I know Ivan's correcting it. I'm looking forward to that. But, then you had the titty milk. I mean, what the hell with the titty milk? I mean, I was cringing at that point. I was just like, well, this is not Luke Skywalker. This is Jake Skywalker. But I think, like the most of us, and we probably all agreed, we wanted to like the film.
That's right.
Really wanted to see Star Wars and enjoy it, and I'm like, no, we're going to sit through this film. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to enjoy it. It's Star Wars. And I got to the end, and I noticed as soon as it ended, there was silence in the movie theater. There was just silence. Everyone was silent. Everyone got up quietly, left. Yet when we saw Infinity War, everyone stood up and applauded. It was a completely different atmosphere. And I went home and I was just kind of like, yeah, okay, it was okay. There's a few good bits, a few bad bits, but it was weird. I kind of felt just empty. It's the only way I can describe it. And I had to go and see it again. And I went and I saw it again. I still wanted to prove to myself that I liked it. There was all these really good reviews online. People say, the critics say it's a fantastic movie, it's brilliant, it's the best thing since The Empire Strikes Back. And I was kind of like, it isn't. And I saw it again, I watched it again, and I'm like, what's wrong? Why the hell isn't the blue-haired lady telling everyone her plan? Why is she keeping it so secretive? Why the hell did they go to Crate? What was that all about? And it was just like, I got to the end of it the second time, and I'm like, I just, even more confused. I didn't know what to think. And it's when I started going online and seeing people like Ivan and Jeremy and Dash Star Wars, the Australian guy, and they're all saying the same. Like I've had it with Star Wars, and you're like, there are people thinking the same. It's not just me. It's not just me disagreeing with these critics. There's a lot of people. And one thing I will end this with, so I'll let other people have a go.
Kylo, Jeremy, I know you don't have too much time with us, but go ahead.
I want to say that The Last Jedi was awesome. Did you see Kylo's pecs? Did you see those pecs?
I can't unsee those pecs.
All muscle. Also, Kylo penetrated Snoke. You see that?
Oh my god.
I think he did a bit more than penetrate Snoke.
Oh no, I think Rian Johnson penetrated my childhood, even though I'm only 22. But I think he penetrated everybody's hopes and dreams.
How did you feel watching Luke milk your girl Lena Dunham?
Who told you about that?
Don't insult the space manatee.
Who told you about that? I'll murder them.
It was filmed in front of, and a lot of people have seen it. It was filmed in front of them. Yeah. Someone caught it on tape. Did you not know that?
Yeah, it was quite pornographic, actually.
Snoke doesn't let me watch TV.
Does TV exist in the Star Wars universe?
Yeah. Holovision exists.
Called the Force.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mecha Random's comment. Kylo's pecs are bigger than Rey's boobs. That's sad but true.
Wow.
You're goddamn right.
Oh God, that is fan-freaking-tastic.
They are massive pecs.
Proper Jeremy
Did
is
I
someone
mention my
who.
lightsaber?
Yeah.
I have one
Proper.
more thing to say before I go. One, bow down to me. I'm your supreme leader, Jeremy's. Second, subscribe to Sith Kryptonian. Third,
what's up?
Ryan Johnson did nothing wrong. Goodbye.
God damn it.
I don't think we're going to top that, actually.
Oh, no. Oh, we shall. All right, so...
Proper Jeremy.
Yep.
As someone who's a little, like, as you describe in your Twitter handle, like someone who's a little fluid, do you find his pecs attractive looking by any chance?
Do I actually? Oh, like proper
I
Jeremy?
sure don't.
Proper Jeremy would, but me. But me, I mean, you know, I'm not necessarily into that. But I mean, he is. He was in. He was in the military. I think he was in the Marine.
He was a Marine. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So he's definitely in good shape. So yeah. I mean,
it was CGI.
I don't think so.
I heard rumors that RJ actually used a slight wider lens for that scene to make him look a little broader. I don't know if that's true or not.
Little? He looked like he took up entire zip codes.
Right. I don't know, like he didn't use like a 35 millimeter lens. He used like a 38 for that scene or something. I'm not a movie expert, but I heard he tweaked it a bit, so to speak. So who knows?
Welcome to the Councils with Jeremy's, ladies and gentlemen.
I know it's probably going to sound wrong, but I mean, Kylo has more meat on his chest than Rey does in her entire body.
I think that's technically what they call the difference between an A cup and a B cup.
Oh my God. So Caitlin Alba, thank you for rejoining us. You had an interesting story in the comments. Do you care to explain?
Oh, well, as soon as I came out of the theater, I knew that I hated The Last Jedi, and it was just this anger, boiling inside me. And as soon as we got out, I was in the lobby, and I started this really loud, angry rant to my parents. And I almost started cussing, and I don't cuss. And we saw like the theater manager walking up to us, so we just ran out.
Oh my God. So
my experience was a little different because when you're used to watching people, when they're lying, when they're being themselves. And I saw the Collider reviews for it, and I'm like, these people do not react like this ever to something they truly like. These people are lying. And I keep watching all these people, and I'm like, nah, I'm looking at your face. You're not telling the truth. This isn't right. And I decided I wasn't going to pay for it. So I went to my friend's house, and he was watching a bootleg of it, so I stuck around and I watched it, and it was horrible. That's not how hyperspace works. You can go through pretty much everything but a sun, which is why they have gravity well generators. You're becoming like, it changes the density of the craft, which is why you can move almost massless. So you would not gain mass through switching to hyperspace. You would lose mass. So there's no way that going to hyperspace would make you denser. It would make you lighter. You wouldn't be able to crash all those chips by going to hyperspace. You have a slow chase in which you can leave the chase for a casino and then come back. Right? The Millennium Falcon can show up to this chase, but it can't transport people out of these ships to somewhere else. It just makes no logical sense. You can make this movie about anything, and it does not make sense. This plot makes no sense. The dialogue is horrible. There's no good angle to this movie.
Welcome to Ryan Johnson's head.
Oh my God, I've seen better looking.
I don't want to be here right now.
I've seen better looking Picassos.
If I can say one thing about Ryan Johnson, he may have made a bad movie. He may have dissed us all with his bad mouthing, calling us man babies, but he's brought all of us together.
That is true.
Yeah, you know.
Unintended consequences.
Mountain Shark in the comments. What the hell did I walk into? Dude, I have no idea. This has been a crazy stream of madness, and I love it.
Has everybody seen that interview of Ryan Johnson where he's like, you know, the kind of movie I like to make is where 50% walk out liking it and 50% go out hating it?
I was thinking about that earlier.
Jeremy played that. Jeremy played that on his channel.
Oh, yeah.
I think he failed at that. More like 70% hated.
Joseph Saviano says, my biggest issue I had was that his nose to chin ratio was way off. I'm not sure exactly what you mean.
No, he's not even Kylo.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. All right.
My deal with the Last Jedi. I mean, first of all, you know, Jake Skywalker was there. You know, it wasn't Luke. You know, I honestly thought it was like a bunch of parody shorts smashed together to try and make a movie. It was just, that's all it was. Is it was a giant freaking parody. It wasn't.
Yeah, with the parking. Oh my god.
I felt trolled. I felt trolled.
Yeah, seriously.
I felt trolled.
That scene was ripped off from Space Force.
Seriously. That's kind of sad.
That goes into something else. The end of the movie where he's just a projection. That's from Escape from LA.
Yeah.
The mirror scene is from a music video. He basically stole half the movie, and the other half just made no sense.
Actually, can we add upon the fact? I think most of you guys have known this, and I think that was kind of what Laura's name was at one point. Was Laura Ryan stole my fan fiction story? That actually was a genuine rumor, and literally in this fan fiction, and it was a huge fan fiction. It was like over 200,000 words, and this was made like before even episode 8 went into production, and actually during like when Ryan was making it, and there were scenes like literally scene by scenes, like especially that scene where Rey's like, hey Kylo, don't do this and everything. It was literally almost the same thing with the force projection scenes, literally word for word. And it got to the creepy part where some parts of the dialogue actually show up in the Last Jedi. So it's like,
okay, so guy, I got a question. Was it good?
The fan fiction?
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Did you like The Last Jedi?
No.
Exactly.
No, but okay, like you can make something good and take 20 things that have nothing to do with throw it in and it ruins it. I don't know if they ruined a good fan fiction or if it was just not good to start with,
That fan fiction was made by a Raylo shipper.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's what I'm saying.
That's all you need to know.
Okay, I like Rayfin. Why couldn't she have that interracial relationship? I think they're racist. They don't want him to have the buku. Why could not Ray have the buku? Let her have that.
I thought they were going to ship Finn and Ray at first. I thought that was going to be a thing.
RJ's a racist. RJ's a racist. She didn't want Ray to get black.
No, I think it's Kathleen that's the racist, because if she's old school Democrat, she's a eugenicist.
We're not. Oh shit!
Here we go.
I feel Jeremy back at it again, man.
Seriously. All right. So I think Bryden, I don't think you or a couple other people haven't really commented on it. Well, you did a little bit, but what was your initial reaction on The Last Jedi, and what did you think about it?
Well, I mean, I've talked for a long time. Is there anybody else that hasn't talked? Or
Hallmark, I think.
Hallmark, you there?
Hallmark?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Well, like I said, I just thought it was a freaking bunch of parody films stuck together. And, you talk about the fan fiction or whatever. I've spent the last week watching Star Wars fan films. And I even tried to make a list, of fan films that are better than The Last Jedi.
Can I make
ran
a
out of
quick
paper.
recommendation? I had a show on World Class Bullshitters called a fan film show. I was there with Ivan Ortega and Mike Miller. I would invite you to check that show. It has a couple of good suggestions in there, and yeah, check it out. I got some good films for you if that's your cup of tea.
Mecha Random says it's like Ryan Johnson made a comedy and forgot to tell anyone. Yeah.
Yes. I don't know. It wasn't funny. I was angry.
Well,
he thought he was funny.
Yep.
I found a cat video, a stinking Jedi cat video that was better than The Last Jedi.
Oh yeah. Didn't you say at one point that you were gonna make a like a list, like a video?
I did. I ran out of paper.
You need a roll of butcher paper, dude.
Did you put Troopers in there? Remember Troopers?
Yeah.
That's like an
Like I
old
said,
one, but it's a good one. I suggest it to the whole chat, to everybody. Watch Troopers. It's wonderful.
That's actually a great segue onto something else I wanted to talk about. Because I know that Star Wars Theory, shout out to him. He made his Vader fan film that Jeremy got to go on set and visit, and so did Anna, that Star Wars girl.
Jealous.
Yeah, that must have been amazing. It's so cool that he is able to do that, and people, I guess, in the Fandom Menace and other people are just really. Some people are more excited to see that fan film, instead of Episode 9. So what I kind of wanted to ask everyone here, and also in the chat as well, give your comments, and I'll try to get to that as well. What fan films have you seen or are aware of? And you can put them, you can link them in the chat, or I'll link them in the description. But if you checked any of them out, and also what do you think about moving forward, about potentially the fans having control of the narrative as opposed to, Lucasfilm, even though they have the official canon? Wouldn't it be kind of nice if the fans could have it back in a way, kind of like the expanded universe? You have all these great stories, all these amazing stories, and a lot of them was because they had people who loved these films and they loved the franchise genuinely, and it's very disheartening to see where it's gone. So
yeah. Sorry, I was going to say in that regard, if I could add, I was going to say that's kind of what I felt that what we were going into in regards to the purchase of Lucasfilm. Because when I looked at JJ, I was like, okay, this guy loves films. And yes, even when Ryan Johnson was hired, I was like, okay, this guy loves films. He's a cinephile. And also with Colin Trevorrow, and regardless of what you think about him, this was a guy who loved films. And I was like, okay, they're actually getting people who know about the art house and stuff like that. Because if you know Star Wars and where it came from, a lot of it came from that art house with Akira Kurosawa and stuff like that. And
I don't think you can love films and want half the audience to hate your film.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. That's where it becomes a problem, is that, like, KK is so up her ass in thinking, like, oh, yeah, JJ, I really like what he's saying. And da-da-da. Like, she's not thinking about the bigger picture. She thinks about, oh, man, this is going to be great. This is going to really touch with the women and stuff like that. And has anybody seen that clip of Kathleen Kennedy basically saying, like, well, basically what I want to change is that, bring, more female audiences, like, get rid of the old base. It's just like, wrong place in time to do this. Make your own franchise. Star
Get
Wars,
rid of the old
dude,
base that really stood out.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Dude, Star Wars is the #1 thing. And everyone here in the chat and in this group like hangout here can agree that Star Wars is the one thing that unite everybody from every single end of the universe. And that's what made it so beautiful. So when I'm seeing this divide and conquer bullshit in regards to Star Wars, it really tears my heart. I was just like, dude, this was the ultimate escape, and now you're fucking it up. Like, I'm sorry to swear and just get all crazy and shit, but this dude.
No, you're right. You're definitely right.
No, but objectively, if we're going to be precise, the Force is male, and it gave Shmi the D. Oh, yeah. The Force gave Shmi the D, I'm telling you, Papa. The Force gave Shmi the D. That's how you got Anakin.
That's going to be the new Geeks and Gamers t-shirt right there. Gave Shmi the D.
The Force
It's
is
like
mail and it
Obi-Wan
came Schmieder
said.
D. Yes, I like it.
It's like Obi-Wan said in the original movie. It surrounds us and penetrates us.
You know, I'm a big Star fan.
That wasn't even Obi-Wan. That was Yoda.
No, do you guys remember Dash Star?
Yeah. Oh, actually, that's what I wanted to talk about because we didn't get to like what my thoughts were going in The Last Jedi. Now that everyone from across the board has said. Okay, I'll give you a little precursor. So yeah, with Rian Johnson, I was very on board because I saw what he did with Breaking Bad, and I saw Looper, and I thought Looper was fucking awesome. That's just my opinion. I know some people are going to disagree, but I thought like, hey, this guy knows how to make a movie look good. He knows to bring in original ideas. He's a cinephile. He can bring ideas from every single end. He did, but for the wrong reasons. Long story short, fast forwarding onto the night, I had IMAX 3D premiere tickets. I literally bought them and they sold out immediately. And I was like, yes. Same thing happened with Force Awakens. Main point is I was running a bit late. I thought the show started at 7:30. Sorry, no, it started at 6 o'clock. It actually started at 7:30. So I was running very much late towards my theater. My IMAX theater is way far ahead. So I was like, oh man, I don't think I'm going to make it there in time. I'm going to use a cab, and I literally had $30 left on me for the whole month. So I was like, okay, YOLO, just get in that cab. I got in the cab, got there, and I realized, dude, I was rushing. It starts at 7:30, not 6 o'clock. So that was the last of my money, just gone down the tube. So my night's not really going all that well. I had to put my ears, plug in my ears, because I don't want to hear people talking spoilers in the hallway because some of the other screenings were already done. So I sit down again to the IMAX theater and everything like that. And these two guys are right behind me and said like, oh yeah, I mean, I saw the movie. I knew Yoda was going to be in it and everything. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Excuse me? Like, they're already spoiling the shit behind me. So like, there's already a pattern of negative behavior. They didn't spoil about Luke dying, so I mean, I would put him in the ambulance after that, honestly. Yeah. No, they spoiled about Yoda being in the film, and I was like, fuck, dude. Like, that pissed me off. Dude, I'm serious. I was right behind them, and they already saw the movie from another screening. So, like, that already brought down my night. And it's just like I said, regardless of what you think about The Last Jedi, that is like the biggest dick move. And honestly, dude, like these guys were the Logan Paul, Jake Paul types that think life's a fucking joke, and they laughed at it, and they're just like, okay, let's change the subject. And it's just like, dude, fuck you, man. So yeah, sat down. Actually, the rest of the screening was not all that bad, but I watched the movie. Like I said, though, I was kind of like everybody else when we saw see a Star Wars movie. I was kind of like, okay, keep an open mind, just watch it, and just know when you're done watching the movie, it may take a few more rewatches, you know? Honestly, at first I wasn't all that upset when Luke died. I wasn't. I felt like, okay, it was done tasteful, it was in the sunset and all that stuff. I gotta admit, though, when I saw him drink the fucking tea, and I was like, you could have cut this from the movie. You could cut this from the movie, and nothing could change. But honestly, like I was like, okay, this is artsy. Not a single moment within the film two lightsabers touch. And I thought, okay, he's trying to do something different there and there. I like Benicio del Toro's character, but yeah, I watched the movie.
I thought he was Boba Fett because why else would they let him in and trust him? And I thought maybe he's like an old Boba Fett or something. I don't know, but it makes no logical sense to have a slow-moving chase where you can leave at light speed and come back and not get the people out.
Yeah, but that was the thing. Even when I was watching the movie, I was just kind of like with Rose. Like, honestly, like, dude, so much crazy shit was happening. And to be fair, as much as he's, we make a meme about, like, subjecting your expectations, I was kind of surprised by a lot of the shit that was going on. And honestly, when Finn was going into that reactor or whatever the hell was that beam, I actually thought, like, he was going to die. And I was like, wow, they're really taking a lot of risks. And this is, I think, the first part where I realized something was not right. When Rose came in, and honestly, like you said, she was shown in the marketing there and there, but not as much in the trailers. With Rose, I was watching, I was just like, look, I'm nothing against this actress or anything, but dude, this whole relationship feels so forced. Yes, pun intended. But really, though, dude, just when she hit him, and I was like, in the kiss, it's just like, dude, this felt so inappropriate and awkward at the wrong time.
Calling him dummy.
It actually reminds me of Man of Steel when fucking Lois Lane and Clark kiss and all the destruction. It's kind of a similar feeling, That's where the almonds start to get activated. Like I didn't sense it at first, but anyway. So yeah, the rest of the stuff goes on. I'm hyped as hell with the whole fight between Kylo and Luke. The Force projection. And honestly, I thought it was actually tasteful because, like I said, I remember episode 4, and I thought, okay, similar thing. So yeah, the movie ends, and honestly, but I was thinking to myself, like,
I think I'm gonna puke.
No, this feels like.
I think I'm gonna hurl. I like no part of that movie from beginning to end. I have no respect for Rian Johnson. Never had any before. I didn't even know who he was before.
I keep it real, my friend. I keep it real, my friend. Okay.
Seriously.
Okay, but yeah, no. This just wrap it all up. But yeah, no, we got to the final part on the Millennium Falcon. But I'm just thinking to myself, like, what the fuck is episode 9 going to be? Because everything felt so done at that point. Like this felt like the conclusion, yeah. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, everything has just been wiped out, annihilated, and everything like that. It's just, man. But anyways, the movie ended. Just talked to some people because that's what happens at Star Wars movies. You chat with strangers, thought what you thought about it. So I went back home, and like I said, I was basically dead broke, and I was still stung in the ass of those two fucking dudes spoiling the shit for me. And that bothered me so much. And it was just polarizing when I thought about it. So like the days passed by, I started to learn about some criticism about the film. And it's just then I was like, And then, they
none of it makes any logical sense at any time.
Let me put it this way. There was one thing somebody pointed out, and let's just say it just started a domino effect in my brain. How the fuck did Rose and Finn actually find out how to get to Crate? And like there was no we got to go to Crate. There was no scene like that. How did they know to go that way? There was no ships following them.
I don't know, man.
You know what I mean?
Because it was there at the bottom. It was.
They were in orbit. They were in orbit around Crate.
Yeah. They left from Crate, then went to Canto Bight, then stole the ship, then came back to Crate, then.
Dude,
they couldn't go get more fuel, but they couldn't evacuate. But how does this make any sense? None of this makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
And I'm going to take just a second to just acknowledge the chat.
Sorry about that.
Been very patient about that. No, you're fine. Hey, you kept it going. The Entertainment Hacker said The Last Jedi is negative and makes me feel terrible. So how can anything be worse? Oh, God damn it! Why'd you have to say that?
Because it's true. It's true,
it's
brother.
Very true. Yeah. Oh, Melissa Anderson, the casino sequence was the worst. It was the most boring and pointless, but...
Free the animal, leave the slave children.
What?
Capitalism.
But before, can I just make one point about the Last Jedi a minute?
In just a minute.
Right.
JG says, way more excited for the Vader fan film. It looks to be the best non-forest setting Star Wars fan film.
Nice.
The Han Solo one took place on Tatooine. I thought that was very great. I think that should have been Solo. Jeremy Movie Phone, why don't you tell me the name of the fan film you want to see? I'm not exactly sure which one you're talking about. All right. Entertainment Hacker says, literally anything I can watch and not feel disturbed about is better than The Last Jedi. So it's worth saying
I think that maybe JJ is making a fan film, and maybe our friends are making a fan film. And which one are you more hyped to see? Episode 9, a fan film by Disney, or the fan film, the Vader fan film? Yeah. Maybe that's what he meant. I don't know. I'm guessing. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Cruel Sorrow says you could have a Legends group where the stories are extended by hardcore fans, but doesn't hurt their messed up continuity. Well, I mean, anything is better than what we have right now. So, I mean, that's just all up to interpretation. Mortarion of the Death Guard. That's actually a pretty cool name.
That was the Primarch of the Death Guard.
Yeah. KK literally thought she could do whatever they wanted with Star Wars. Yeah, exactly. And everyone would just pay to see it. It's very true. And it's just kind of, it's egregiously insulting to just think like, oh, we could just slap the name of Star Wars on anything and it'll be great. Oh, dear Lord, what has happened to us? Melissa Anderson says Mary Poppins Leia was stolen from Guardians of the Galaxy. Was it?
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Huh.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all.
Joseph Saviano, I was one of those fans from way back when the original film came out in 1977. I saw those films in the theater long before the special editions or the prequels of the new trilogy. Oh my Lord, I can't even imagine, what you thought about episode 1 when it came out after coming off the
Has anyone here seen the anti-cheese prequels?
Oh my God, that is really funny, and yeah, I mean, some of these fan edits of the prequels are really good.
I love it.
Yeah,
the anti-cheese is magnificent. I must say, anybody in the chat, anyone in here that kind of likes the prequels but have their issues with it. This person, I think his name is actually Jeremy Esquire. That's what he calls himself. The guy who made the anti-cheese editions. I think he's a Jeremy, but not like weird Jeremys. And he made a fan edit, much like Ivan's, of the 3 prequels, and did a good job. Cut down a lot of the Jar Jar, give them an alien language so it's not imitating Rastafarians, and give them more dignity. I would say. Also changed the Japanese accent of the Nemodians into just like an alien language with subtitles, and cut off all the cheese because the relationship with Padme and Anakin was a little cheesy.
Right.
Cut all that out and made a shortened all 3 movies. I think about 30 minutes each, 20 to 30, I think. It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
From everyone else in the chat who hasn't talked in a while.
I don't really have it.
Yeah, I was going to say I wanted to end the little coda to my story was my biggest regret, and thank God I deleted my Twitter so you can't even see this. I said, well, to be fair, when The Empire Strikes Back came out, people were kind of polarized by it. I think Last Jedi will hold up to that, and I'm like, I kind of wish I could fucking kill myself right now for saying that, because looking in retrospect, man, that is like the most bullshit thing I could have said. That was like the biggest fanboy stuff.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm gonna give you a hug from Puerto Rico. It's okay. I used to like The Force Awakens. It's okay.
No. I love The Force Awakens, though, dude. Come on. I liked
it a little bit, but then it ruined. I was Jeremy when I started with The Force Awakens, and I wound up like Jeff.
All right, so Mecha Random 42. This was really funny. The Force gave Shmi the D. Woo!
That's going to be a new Geeks and Gamers new shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you've been keeping up with the comments. You see, okay. You don't try, cool. Sorry, you don't try inviting women by just by adding more women. KK's brain is too simple. No wonder why Star Wars is drowning in the abyss. Ooh, that's pretty deep, man. Pretty deep. No pun intended.
Because it's the abyss.
Yeah. Take your time, proper chair. Okay, thank you.
Well, The Abyss is a better movie than The Last Jedi.
Johnny Flag, what's up, man? He frequents the streams a lot. Oh, sorry, Mr. Pete. My question wasn't asked. My reaction. Oh, what are you talking about?
Well, you were asking everybody what was your reaction to seeing the movie that night.
I'm so sorry, man.
Oh, shit. Sorry, man. Yeah. I thought you went. My bad.
Yeah,
it's all right. It's all right. No, I didn't go.
Go on, man. Was there anybody else that didn't go either?
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I think
go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to quickly scan through the chats, and then you can get right to it. And then I'm sorry. I think Force Ghost Jeremy wanted to say something too. So. Yeah, there's just a lot of people in here.
Yes, I was angry. That sums it up.
Yeah. All right.
So,
go ahead,
my reaction is, well, first I want to compare it to I remember The Force Awakens. And as soon as The Force Awakens was done, I was like, wow, that was a really good movie. But then the next day I started having my doubts. Then I saw it again, and I'm like, well, this is just a total remake of A New Hope. But compared to The Last Jedi, I hated it halfway through. The scene that finally did it for me, the scene where I just couldn't take it anymore, was when, and we got 2 versions. We got Luke's version of the story and Kylo Ren's version of the story. When Luke was standing over Kylo Ren with that ignited lightsaber, like and he was about to kill him. That I don't care if you love The Last Jedi. I don't care if you hate The Last Jedi. That was not Luke Skywalker.
Very true.
That was not him. That was not the Luke I know.
Exactly.
Was that the first time you'd seen the movie that you had that reaction?
Yeah, I literally almost got up out of my seat. I put my head on my hands on my head, and it was like I couldn't believe they did that.
Right.
That is not the Luke I know. Luke would never do that. Exactly. Even to one of his enemies, he would not do that. Try to kill somebody in their sleep. The return of
the Jedi Luke would never turn into the sequel Luke. Never.
Absolutely. Never. I know people change, and that's what one of the excuses they were using. Well, Gandhi never changed since his 20s.
Well, I think people were just searching for something to say.
Yeah.
Or anything really, you know. It took people.
But Luke was kind of the Gandhi.
You know? Yeah, I mean, there was like a loss for words for sure.
But I think there's just more evidence there that I think Kathleen Kennedy. I mean, they had their initial story arc, and then Kathleen Kennedy somewhere around the post production of The Force Awakens decided to just throw a wrench, because obviously it derailed everything that Colin Trevorrow was going to bring to the table in Episode 9. And I think that's when the politics got involved, and Kathleen Kennedy just kind of got secretly with Rian Johnson and said, "Hey, here's really what we're going to do."
Yeah, but
because that's why it makes no sense, because it literally doesn't make no sense, because they had a completely different agenda in mind. They derailed it, inside the process or during the process.
There's also the royalty aspects. I mean, if I get rid of all these old characters, I don't have to pay royalties to these actors or the people that created them. So let's make my new characters, which will make me new royalties every time they show up on a film.
Yeah, but I think also it goes back to what Bryden was alluded to earlier, in that Kathleen Kennedy said, we want to ditch the old fan base and get all new fans. I mean, that was kind of a throwaway statement she said, but I think it's absolutely indicative of what her motivation was and what her intent was. And you look at The Force Awakens versus the Last Jedi, and I think it's completely obvious that The Last Jedi was a last-minute political statement that didn't have anything to do with story continuity or quality or anything like that we would actually expect.
I think there's a little spite in it too, because I do remember the Collider episode where they announced that JJ was fired, and when you fire someone, there's a little bit of spite in it. And I think there was a little spite in destroying the characters made by JJ. Not that I worship JJ, but I think okay, you made a copy, great for you, He
at least respects Star Wars. That's the difference here.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And between a rock and a hard place, I got to make a choice. I'll pick JJ over Ryan every day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I also I think it's the 2-point aspect. One, yes, that political stuff, getting rid of old fans, and also I think there's a little bit of the royalty thing. Remember, the first thing she did walking in the door is she knocked over a successful series. People like to say Star Wars was in a slump. No, Star Wars was making a comeback, because between some of the fan edits and the Clone Wars, there was a resurgence in Star Wars interest. And to try to say that no, it was a dumpster fire is a complete mistake. If it was a dumpster fire, they wouldn't have paid so much for it.
Yep. I can't object to anything he just said there. That was spot on.
That was beautifully said.
Yeah.
So a couple of comments.
Hey, Jeremy, real quick.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I was 6 years old in 1977. All right. So I've grown up with Star Wars. All right. And the prequels, okay. Now, you have a movie, Phantom Menace, it's got a 6 or 7 year old kid in it, whatever. There's gonna be a little bit of cheese or whatever. But as somebody who's been there from the beginning, I didn't really have a problem with the prequels, even the mushy love story crap, because
agreed.
It still felt like Star Wars, and it was backstory.
I think if you did it exactly the same with a different director, it wouldn't even be a problem.
Not even that. Like maybe if you had Gary Kurtz that was in there, somebody to, and that's another thing. This is a great segue to go on to. There was a lot of prequel hate that went around, and Hallmark, as you said, and a couple people in the chat had said that they did see episode 4, or they did see A New Hope in the theater, the original one, and then going off of that perfect trilogy. Well, there are some flaws and whatnot, what have you, but I guess I can't even imagine the egregious insult that was Jar Jar Binks for episode 1. I mean, and it feels like it took a while for everyone to, to catch on and everything. If you saw The People versus George Lucas, I mean, my God,
that's a great movie, by the way. I really enjoyed that.
It's a great documentary, man. And and I know Caitlin, I know you said that you really love the prequels and whatnot, and but I'd like to get everyone's opinions on just no matter what your age, did you grow up with the prequels? If you didn't, if you were before, if that was something that you like, if you grew up with the original trilogy and then you saw episode 1 in the theater, what was your initial reaction to the prequels, particularly episode 1? And then what do you think about it in retrospect, especially after the Disney buying it?
I can jump in there. I mean, I grew up with Star Wars. I was born in '73. I was 4 years old when the original Star Wars came out. When the prequels came out, Jar Jar does get a lot of stick, but it didn't make it into a bad movie. It wasn't The Last Jedi bad. It was, you got to remember in the original you had C-3PO and R2-D2 as the comic duo in the film, and I think they tried to do it with Jar Jar, but it was over the top. With the CGI and everything else, it didn't work, but it didn't ruin the movie, and it didn't. You got to remember when the prequels came out, you didn't have this internet, you didn't have YouTube, you didn't have all the social media, and although it wasn't great, we were still excited to see episode 2 and then episode 3 and follow the story of Anakin Skywalker as he had become Darth Vader and how he fought Obi-Wan. And you watch them back now, and I can still watch them, and when you compare it to The Last Jedi, I'm nowhere near as bad as The Last Jedi, and it's still a good story. Yes, George Lucas is directing, and some of the way they make them talk. I mean, what's that line that Padme uses, isn't it? With only your presence that you what's that one? It's oh Christ, I don't know. With only your presence that our attacker will be revealed, or something like that. No one talks like that, and I think there was far too much politics in the prequels as well. All these meetings, and I know George Lucas wanted to tell the story of how Palpatine became the Emperor, but it was that kind of the storytelling that George Lucas should have had other people do the directing, but it didn't detract from it, and I still enjoy it, and we still look forward to the sequels, and enjoyed The Force Awakens, and then The Last Jedi just ruined it a lot.
Oh my God. Okay, so Quentin Lars, that's Roger. Is it me, or does I'm sorry, Force Ghost Jeremy. Is it me, or does Force Ghost Jeremy have the same accent as the youngling that confronted Anakin before he got killed? I'm sorry, Force Ghost. That was funny. Yeah. Oh my God. Good times had by all. That's the DJDShow would put it.
I think we need to test it. Say the line.
Yep.
What did you say? It's just like Master Skywalker.
It says Master Skywalker. There are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?
Now you got to do a falsetto, man.
That was awesome, man. I'm glad you got a good sense of humor about that. You only roast the ones you love. Well done, indeed. So Caitlin, what did you think initially of the prequels, and what do you think about them now in retrospect?
Well, for me, I grew up with the prequels. Like, I borrowed, quote unquote, from my oldest brother the prequels, and I wouldn't return them because I loved them so much. I literally slept on the coffee table just so that I could watch them over and over again. I think for about 2 years, I would rewatch the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy over and over again for like almost every day. I was obsessed with them. And I get that there was some, issues with the execution and the acting. But when I was small, I didn't really see that. I just saw the story and the action and the adventure. And, I was just so attracted to it and I loved it. So, yeah.
I think folks who are kind of in your position at the time, I think that you're pretty much the target demographic that they were intending. So, yeah, you're going to love it. I think that totally makes sense.
By the way, everyone's giving you a round of applause in the comments, Force Ghost. Oh, he's muted, but yeah, okay. Celebrity Jeremy, were you gonna say something, or like? Yeah,
I'll just go real quick because I'm actually gonna bounce here in a couple minutes. But so
yeah, we're gonna end in the next half hour. So this has been a great stream so far. Thank you everyone for joining. By the way, this has been so amazing. What a roller coaster this has been. But yeah, go ahead, man.
So I just want to say that Hallmark, Jeremy, and I are the same age because I also saw it in the saw episode 4 in the theater at 6 years old in 1977, and I still absolutely remember several moments sitting with my dad in that theater, watching it, being blown away by mainly the story and also the music. John Williams' score kind of opened up my brain to a whole lot of things, and actually just. I actually have had the opportunity to be involved in scoring film personally. So that was a huge deal for me. So anyway, going into the prequels, as a person who had grown up their entire life with the original trilogy and only the original trilogy, I had very high expectations, and I liked them overall. I wish they had gone with a different story. I kind of came out of episode 1 thinking they started too early. And then when I saw episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, which is my personal favorite, I thought the prequel should have started there because of what Obi-Wan had said in episode 4 about, Anakin already being the best starfighter pilot in the galaxy when he met him. And that kind of threw me a little bit, but never once watching the prequels did I ever think this doesn't feel like Star Wars. It always, as much as I hated Jar Jar and I thought, some of the other things could have been executed a little better, it all felt like Star Wars. There was never any doubt in my mind. And the stuff that I loved, I absolutely loved. And the things that I didn't like, I just merely didn't like them. And I would have done something different. But overall, I enjoyed the prequels. So that was kind of my take on it.
I can confirm that it was a Jeremy that made the anti-cheese. I pretty much agree with everything you guys are saying. I would put that Luke was kind of a crop duster, but not for crops. He was just like, a bush pilot, something like that. He did have a little bit of experience. Not the greatest ever, but he did have a little bit of the experience there. And I would encourage you guys to watch the anti-cheese and remember that Disney did not strike this anti-cheese edition for a long time. It was completely available on YouTube. That's where I first ran into them. It's a good edition, and I think it kind of like reinvigorated a lot of people who hadn't seen the prequels to seeing them in this more compact, more concise format. And I do agree that there was some dialogue issues, some direction issues, but I understand why a lot of people like it, and I never felt hate for it. But I do recognize that the first trilogy was better, 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I don't think anybody would argue against that. Mr. Pete?
Okay, the question was, I stepped away for a little bit. What was our reaction to the prequels?
Yeah, initially, and what do you think about it in retrospect?
Okay, well, I'm kind of up there in age. I'm not as old as Celebrity Jeremy or Hallmark Channel Jeremy.
Yeah, we're ancient.
You could say that I was born into you could say that I was like born into the original trilogy, and I grew up with just the original trilogy for so many years. Then, of course, the big announcement, you know, episode 1, 2, and 3. I saw episode 1 with my father. It was one of the last movies we saw together. And we came out of the theater like we were talking to each other, and we were like, well, that movie was okay. You know, like we thought the effects were great. You know, I really can't understand all this CGI hate. And, you know, I mean, you know, if you were to ask, now keep in mind, I grew up with the original trilogy. If you ask me, the AT-ATs on Hoth, they look like toys, you know, walking across the ice with their herky-jerky movement. Anyway, you know, it was okay. Then you know, a couple years later, I saw Attack of the Clones by myself. And I'm in the minority. I actually think Attack of the Clones is better than The Phantom Menace, just for the simple reason that it had a whole lot less Jar Jar. That's the only reason why.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
and at least you got Anakin Skywalker in there.
Yeah. I wish if I can change anything about the prequels, I would have at least Jar Jar speak with a normal accent and have Anakin be
or just
a little
an
bit
alien.
older.
Make it an alien voice with subtitles.
Yeah. Or have, you know, Anakin be like 14, 15, 16 in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, a lot of people agree with that in the chat for sure.
Yeah. Have him be the same age as Padme. Well, anyway.
Yeah, it
When
kind
I-
of seems weird when you jump forward 10 years. It's just a little awkward.
Yeah, it was a big time skip. So finally, I went into seeing the Revenge of the Sith with little to no expectations, no hope, because we all know what was going to happen. We all knew that Anakin was going to become, you know, Darth Vader.
It's like Titanic. The boat's gonna sink. You know.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly. But that movie, I put it up there with Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and A New Hope. It is my favorite. I'll admit, The Empire Strikes Back is better directed, better written. But as far as telling a story and lore, and it sets up the ending of Revenge of the Sith, the last 5 minutes where you see the Death Star under construction with Tarkin and Vader and the Emperor.
Oh, I remember seeing that for the first time, and I lost my shit. I remember I was like,
my mouth opened up. I couldn't believe they were show the Death Star, the original Death Star under construction. I couldn't believe that, and then they skipped to little baby Leia being dropped off on the beautiful planet of Alderaan, and that's the beauty. That's the beauty of the way Lucas makes films, because he shows the Death Star, then he shows Alderaan, and we all know what happens to Alderaan. The Death Star destroyed it. That's why he did it in that order. And then finally, Obi-Wan dropping off little baby Luke to Owen and Aunt Beru with the twin suns. And I don't think that was a sunset. I think that was a sunrise, because it was a new... You know, Luke was a new hope.
That is a very good point, man.
I think that's a sunrise. I believe that's a sunrise. I mean, I don't know if that's canon or not.
I accept your headcanon.
Yeah, in my heart canon, my head canon, that was a sunrise. And I'm not gonna lie, I had tears in my eyes when I saw that scene. And the last 5 minutes of that movie was, I believe that's some of the best in all of the saga, right up there with Luke, I am your father. So I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, I really love the Revenge of the Sith, and I can understand why people don't like it. I get all the complaints and all that, but I
like them.
Yeah, it'll probably always be my favorite Star Wars movie. So yeah, I'm going to leave it at that.
All right.
Before we get into I was going to say, before we get into anything, I got to acknowledge this comment before Mr. Pete goes, but it made me laugh my ass off when I saw this. Mr. Pete sounds like a sober Cecil. I can't unhear it now.
I think you guys will get along. I think you'll get along with Cecil if you guys ever met.
Oh, we've run into a few streams. I mean, I was never like, we would talk, like I would never Not what we're doing right now, but he knows me. I know him. So
Good guy. I've spoken to him on World Class Bullshitters when he used to come in more often. Now he's a little busy, but he's a good guy.
Oh, yeah. All right. So who else hasn't gone? I don't know. Puerto Rican Jeremy, you've hit on it a little bit, but I don't think you actually did. You say what you said about the prequels, or are you good? Or
Look, just to sum it up, I kind of went over it lightly, but to sum it up, I think there was a lot of potential there. I think if you watch the Jeremy M. West, I think that's the man's name, Jeremy M. West version, the anti-cheese edition, they changed the accent, they cut down the Jar Jar, gave the Gungans a little dignity, and it made for a better movie. There is a lot of good in it. I never hated them. I could see the problems, but it's a good. I think they're good movies. I think the direction could have been a little better. I do agree with the age difference. I think Anakin should have been a little older in the first one. That's about it. I can't really hate on it, and I especially like the way that that Clone Wars, kind of shaped what happened between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a very good point.
Yeah, that cartoon series completely
excellent series.
Dude, even completely fleshed all that out. It was great.
Dude, even the 2003 series is awesome. Like, if you see that shit on YouTube that's like only 2 hours long,
I haven't either.
Dude, it's amazing. Like, if you love Samurai Jack, you'll love the Clone Wars animated series.
Oh yeah, I love
all
both.
right.
Hey, Celebrity Jeremy's bouncing out. Thanks for having me.
Hey, Celebrity Jeremy, thank you for joining us, man.
Take care, Celebrity Jeremy.
Bye.
Bye.
See you.
May the force be with you.
And also with you. All right, so real quick, I'm going to get to the comments right afterwards. But Bryden, you got some comments about the prequels and what you think about it in retrospect, and what was your initial reaction as well?
Well, shit, this is where it all becomes a bit full circle, because right around the same time, even before Lucasfilm was being purchased, I was actually getting interested within the prequels and stuff like that. I was a little too obsessed with the Red Letter Media reviews, like amazing stuff. But I was kind of reevaluating it. I was kind of rewatching a lot of the original trilogy too. I even bought like a VHS player and stuff like that, kind of just rewatching the stuff. And I was kind of at a point in my life where living with my mother, she was kind of audited by the government, so I didn't really have a lot to deal with. So I kind of had some time to go like, yo, let's watch some Star Wars and stuff like that. And I kind of just became a little more obsessed. I started to get really into the expanding universe, which is now Legends, and just like this was all going on. So right around 2012, and I remember sitting in the community center. We were all just kind of chilling out. It was like a, just a little hangout kind of thing. A friend of ours just kind of said like, yo, Lucasfilm just got bought by Disney and they're going to make a new sequel trilogy. And I was like, what? Like, it just came out of nowhere. It was like super unexpected. Like, the first part, I was like, oh, Lucasfilm was bought by Disney. Wait, what? Like, this plant dream of a sequel trilogy was like crazy. So anyways, but getting back to the actual prequels, I saw Attack of the Clones when it first came out in theaters. I was in Seattle, and I remember actually when Yoda actually did jump, I was like, holy shit. When it came to Revenge of the Sith, I gotta add, dude, the first time I actually watched episode 4, like, we're talking like sat down, pay attention to the story and everything, was after I saw Revenge of the Sith. And regardless of what people think about that film, whether they think it's great or it just sucks, nobody can deny that the transition is perfect. It actually made episode 4 even better, in my opinion.
Yes, the transition from 3 to 4. Oh, let's not forget Palpatine's great speech.
Oh, yes. Then the democracy dies. Well, no, I'm just saying even Padme, when, as much as we don't like, Padme in terms of the way she was treated, it could have been better. But that line, "This is how democracy dies," with thunderous applause, I was like, that was dope. That was dope. Yeah. And just in general, that Plagueis scene. Wow. In retrospect, me being a grown ass man now, like watching that, that's like, this is something I actually go like, George, that was great, dude. I just love that little mythos within the mythos kind of thing. Yeah. And honestly, man, just seeing Anakin just being chopped up, like keep in mind, I was about 9 years old when I saw it within the theater, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, man. I kind of wish we saw the Qui-Gon scene, though, that they were thinking about bringing up, but Liam Neeson was in an accident. I thought that could have been kind of neat. But just like I said, that transition of seeing the Death Star being built, seeing, what was it, Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen, just like, holding up Luke and stuff like that, just perfect. And just transitions into the original trilogy. How I see it in regards to the Phantom Menace, long story short, I did not see it in theaters, but the more and more, especially after the Riddler media review, I kind of realized, wow, this does suck. I can kind of see where everyone's coming from, because it's just like you see all the shit going on the screen, but then when you actually stop to look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, I can kind of see what's wrong with this, Because if Star Wars was not on the name of that film, like, honestly, I would not give a shit. I'm being real with that. I really wouldn't. But how I would do the prequels, honestly, is that the whole, like, all three films should have been around the Clone Wars. Kind of like how the original trilogy was around the Galactic Civil War. And honestly, we should have seen the beginning of the Clone Wars in the first episode. And with Anakin being around like 14 or 15, kind of that age where he can actually pick up a lightsaber. Kind of that little startup of certain things, But that's just kind of how I saw it in regards to the prequels. But like everybody, I think you can agree in this chat, we didn't realize how good we had it. We really didn't. We really didn't.
Yeah, seriously.
It's not perfect, but here's the thing. There's some parts like within Revenge of the Sith. It's just like because in what was it, Return of the Jedi, Leia's like, oh, I remember parts of with my mother and stuff. But the thing is, though, if we're talking like her actual mother, which is Padme, dude, she was an infant and it was only like about less than a minute. That mechanical fuck up like does bring me down. I'm like, oh man. But here's the thing, that's nothing compared to The Last Jedi, which pisses on the original mythos that everybody from every generation grew up on in regards to Star Wars. That's the difference there, in my opinion. Because, like I said, you can have disagreements with the prequels, but it didn't destroy everything. It didn't ruin everything that we loved and made the characters. There were just only interpretations of characters that we wanted to see that didn't come out as well. If that makes any sense, if you get where I'm coming from. And it's frustrating. But like I said, I like the prequels. Dude, like I said, they could have been good, but I think, like I said, when you compare it to what we have right now and the issues, at least you know what, the politics and stuff, because people were saying, like, with Revenge of the Sith, they were just saying, like, well, there's some, like, Bush, Dick Cheney stuff going on. I was like, you know what, when I watch this shit, that doesn't even come across my mind. When I'm watching The Last Jedi, I feel the current progressive, like, resistance politics when I'm watching that shit. With the prequel trilogy, not a single moment in my mind I think, like, this reminds me of the real world. It doesn't. They make it subtle. The Last Jedi doesn't. Hell, even The Force Awakens, from my point of view, makes shit subtle. It's just that's where people don't understand there's a difference in that regard.
Well, the original trilogy was very obviously alluding to the German Democratic National Socialist, what people call the Nazis.
Yeah. But the thing is, though, even in retrospect, though, that's subtle. When I look at the like when I see the whole thing with the Galactic Republic, I think to myself, this actually reminds me of the Roman Empire and the Roman Republic, and Julius Caesar. Actually, I see that more than anything.
Exactly.
That's what I mean. So you can make your own interpretations.
And whatever happened to that? What the art of subtlety and the your own perception is part of the joy of watching these movies. And it's very irritating when it's just shoved in your face, saying like, "This is the message. This is what we want to get across." Like, and treating your audience like they're idiots. It's very insulting to us, and that's just adding insult to injury at this point.
And it doesn't reflect the reality, because when you look at the original trilogy, it does reflect reality.
Yeah.
Right? When you look at the original trilogy, when you look at the prequels, it does kind of reflect on reality, right? Like, there's two sides, like governments and people can get fooled, and this is how sometimes things go wrong.
But
right?
it's not straight
if you look
in
at the
your
new
face,
one, there's no subtlety, and it's pretty one-sided. It doesn't show like look, you gotta think about what's happening, you know, and you got to see that sometimes these big things have an origin. That's kind of like the message of the prequels. Like, pay attention, see what's happening. You know, these things snowball. That's kind of like the message there. When you look at the new ones, what's the message here?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, they're. I mean, it's
White
clearly
man bad.
Orange man bad. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, like that's a really good point, and it's just really irritating. Again, it goes back to treating your audience like idiots, and it's annoying, man. But now, speaking of the audience, what was that?
I was just going to say shout out to Dash Star from breaking out from the Matrix, because somebody mentioned Dash Star before. That was actually my big eye opener when I realized, you know, this guy is probably the biggest fanboy of Star Wars, and honestly, his clickbait is a little too much. But main point is that like when he came out and he was watching with his father, like this is first impressions, and he has a very close relationship with his father. For those who actually follow his channel, and it meant a lot to him. So when he's watching this movie, especially the Yo Mama joke, that's where he clicked and he realized, like, wait a minute, this is shit. And he just said, like, no, that's really what it was. Like, watch the video. And then he actually started being more brutally honest within his videos and everything like that. I was like, holy shit, this is a totally 180 of somebody that, you know.
He's not making a lot of new content, right? I haven't.
Oh yeah, no, but just keep in mind, dude, he did get married and everything, so you know he's got life going on around the road. But still, just watching that and also the podcast he had.
Even Angry Joe, and you know Angry Joe, he's kind of like middle of the road. He's not very controversial. And even Angry Joe, he pulled out all of his Star Wars stuff to say, look, you know, I'm a fan of that of Disney. I'm a fan of all this stuff, but this movie sucks.
Yeah.
So real quick, I'm gonna acknowledge some of these comments. Thank you all for being so patient. This stream's been amazing. Stone Cold Jeremy said one of the problems with episode 1 is it didn't technically have a lead role and the character development was minimal at best.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, there really wasn't a main character, and there was this guy called I think it was Belated Media who was had these videos that were like, what if episode 1 was good, like really good? What if I were a story executive at Fox and George Lucas handed the script to me? He's like, this is the script for episode 1. Yeah, I've seen it many times. They're one of my favorite. It's my favorite. One of my favorite.
You could say Qui-Gon is the lead, but he's dead by the end of the second act. He doesn't make it to the third act.
Yeah,
and it can't be Obi-Wan either, because he doesn't really do anything until like some part in the movie. Like the climactic battle with Darth Maul is like the only time he becomes seriously prevalent.
Yeah, and I gotta say, Maul had the high ground, which makes that a little weird.
He clearly did. I know,
clearly had the high ground, you know. Just saying.
But he didn't do anything. He could have easily done something, but you know. But
yeah,
he
was brought back alive due to fan service, though. That's the power.
Yeah, really, and it was what a missed opportunity. Seriously, but in the videos, the guy made a point where you know, it should be Obi-Wan's story, you know. So, I mean, it's whatever. I mean, but as it is. It seems like George wanted it to be Anakin's story, but it just kind of wasn't, and it's just kind of confusing in that way.
It's more of a thing of story structure within the time frame than it is like what it should be. I agree with the comment, but like if you frame it within the narrative of like a 3-act story, you know, they basically kill the lead before by the third act. The third act starts without the lead.
Yeah, and Dion Mark Rath, Dion, it's great to see you. You all are young, including Hallmark and Celebrity, Jeremy. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Joseph Saliano said, wait, the Titanic sank? Oh, come on. Next time you'll tell me there's no Santa Claus.
I got some bad news for you.
Hug your mother, hug your father, you know, keep them close, because it was them the ones that busted their ass for your toys.
Yeah, Santa Claus did exist, but he's been dead for 1,800 years. So.
Yeah, St. Nicholas.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Peabody, what's up? Very great to see you. He's a friend of mine. He's Australian. He's awesome. Crowcock says, "Do you guys like Warhammer 40K universe?"
I could get on a rant about that.
Go for it. You got time. We're gonna wrap up pretty soon, but yeah, go for it, brother. Let's do it.
I mean, I've got shelves and fucking shelves of Warhammer miniatures of various universes that take part in it. I've got 40k, I've got 30k, I've got fantasy. I used to love the stories of not so much the Space Marines, the Imperial Guard, it was your typical post-apocalyptic future with a twist. It was kind of like Star Trek in that way. Humanity had undergone this massive cataclysm, but were rebuilding, and it gave us somewhat hopeful view for the future. Though, of course, certain things happened, and then it started to spiral downward again. I play it a lot. I play it a lot, or used to, with my friends.
Yeah.
But I've always enjoyed reading the novels of everything.
It kind of reminded me like a cross of between Game of Thrones and Halo, but I haven't really got into the lore, just like kind of seeing the games.
Yeah, a little bit, I suppose.
Because Halo makes these super soldiers, and as I see it, there's like a little bit of like a Game of Thrones aspect. Like there's different like factions and stuff.
It's Halo on steroids. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So we're gonna just wrap it up just in a few minutes. Thank you to. I just want to give a shout out to all 33 viewers who are still watching. I want to thank my mods, Star Wars for Life, Laura, It's a Short Story, Caitlin, the Keeper of Jeremy's. By the way, thanks for sticking around, Caitlin. You're awesome. Obi-Wan 27883. TheRookie Critic as well, and the DJDShow. Hey, what's up, man?
Good guy, good guy.
You're still here. And thank you for everyone who's watching still, and everyone who has liked the video and subscribed to my channel, and everything. This has been amazing, and I want to thank everyone on Twitter and just everywhere who was wishing me well when I had my surgery a couple days ago. I mean, a few days ago, it really meant a lot to me.
You had to get that soy cut out.
I haven't seen my appendix in a while, by the way, so maybe he was off doing whatever, but you know what? It's okay.
It probably ran off and made its own account.
Made another one. Thank you for everyone who's on the panel still. Clone Commander, Jeremy, Force Ghost, Jeremy, Hallmark's channel, Jeremy, Mr. Pete Mr. Pete channel. I'm sorry, I get you two confused a little bit.
All right, it's okay.
I was seeing him in the comments. I was like, damn it. Mr. Pete, thank you for sticking it out. And I'm sorry that I didn't get to you in a little bit for that one time. I apologize for that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Your hands were full. I perfectly understand.
Yeah, I did that to myself.
Proper Jeremy.
I'm very sorry about that, Caitlin.
But Caitlin, you should have gone to Costco. Come on, you're not innocent.
Oops.
It's okay. Yeah. Thank you, Caitlin, for stopping by as well, and giving your feedback and everything. Puerto Rican Jeremy, and of course Brighton Cherrier, Redneck Jeremy, and all of these kinds of Jeremys that you have.
Oh God, I haven't even gone down my list. My favorite one is actually, and his reaction was fucking gold. Kathleen, Jeremy's balls are looking smoother than Kathleen Kennedy's future.
Such a good one.
But then afterwards, when you heard the bad news, which we will not get into, which is the worst thing since 9/11, to be fair, but but really though, in all seriousness, I retitled it to Jeremy's balls are not looking smoother than Kathleen Kennedy's future. And I remember when Anna was reading that comment, she was like, the fuck is this?
It's a very improper Jeremy account.
Exactly. But honestly, like I said, James Gunn's ball sack, Penis Jeremy, Ivan Jeremy.
PG-13, guys. PG-13.
No. Also, here's Caitlin's favorite. Pansexual purple-haired giraffe Jeremy. Which sounds like this.
That was a good one, too. Oh my God.
I'm glad I only ever made one.
I have mainly done one, and I've done a couple one-offs and some other parody accounts, but I've mostly stuck with Proper Jeremy, and I can't believe that's something that I did just as a joke one time. Just a quick thing, the origins, like how this fucking started. Sorry, PG-13.
Oh shit!
Oh, did we lose someone? No,
I think we lost.
We lost Mark and Pete. Okay.
It's kind of funny how this sovereign guy actually is his own account, and a redneck guy's being portrayed by a Canadian.
What's up, Mr. Pete?
Yeah, I got kicked off again. I don't know why. It's just.
I didn't kick you. I'm just saying. All right. Hallmark Channel Jeremy's back too. What's up?
Oh.
Hey. Hello. All right. So
hey, y'all should know your cameras are on, so you know your cameras on. And one of you, I see your face, but your microphone is muted. I think Hallmark muted himself.
Oh yeah, we see that. But anyways, the reason
why
there I am. Oh,
there
you good?
are.
All right. So anyways, this all kind of started when I realized that Jeremy would sometimes read your chats, would read your super chats, and he would always screw it up. And there was one time when he and Ivan were joking around on air, and he said, if I sit up straight and speak properly, enunciating every word, then
I remember this.
Yeah,
I was there in that live stream.
Oh, that was a brilliant live stream. Oh my god, he was doing all these voices, like he did Jer Binks, he did this Daffy Duck Jeremy or whatever that was. I can't remember. But yeah, he was just doing a bunch of voices, and then he just invented the Proper Jeremy name just for fun, I guess. And I decided to kind of, because I saw that there were a few Jeremy parody accounts already, Jeremy's Hat and the copy of Mario Kart with a C.
Mario Kart with a
yep, and all these other ones.
I was there for that live stream, by the way, when somebody said, like, hey, do you play any SMC? And he says, if you mean Mario Kart and you're doing that with a C, how dare you? Then everyone just kept shouting cart and putting things with a K and a C. And actually, dude, I want to actually make him a Mario Kart shirt spelled with a C, but it's in the style of the Mario Kart logo. Under, instead of we, it just says the Geeks and Gamers logo. You know,
that would be really good. That'd be really cool.
Hey, yeah, but I know he would burn it as soon as he sees it, man. The reason why he hates the word letter C is because he drives a Kia. Okay, so if you replace Kia with a C, you get CIA. He's obviously a plant to derail and divide the Star Wars fandom. We have to stop him, guys. Seriously, Geek Man bad. Geek Man bad.
Deep state.
Okay, you went from
oh my god, my appendix is back. No! I've been hiding from the soyness of Proper Jeremy. No!
Hey, look, my case, you guys maybe heard it before, but it has been kind of a long show. They're trying to say, like, this Jeremy guy, like, he's some kind of racist, and I didn't like that. Puerto Ricans, they're like the wild card of race because it's like a 3-in-1. So, if you tell a Puerto Rican you hate white people, you're hating 1/3 of his blood. If you tell a Puerto Rican you hate black people, you're hating 1/3 of his blood. If you tell a Puerto Rican you hate like Native Americans, you're hating 1/3 of his blood. So we're like the trifecta.
Right. And then, well, at any rate, I think it's about time that we wrap it up. First off, I'm gonna thank you to everyone who's on the panel right now, and thank you to Chick-fil-A Jeremy, who stopped in for a while. Thank you to
and he wasn't a Force Ghost.
Yeah. What was that?
And he wasn't a Force Ghost either.
No, he wasn't, surprisingly. Thank you to TheRookie Critic. Subscribe to his channel. And thank you to Kylo Jeremy. That was Sith Kryptonian. He's awesome. And he was showing me that last night. That's amazing. Mr. Pete channel, you're still here. Everyone, go subscribe to the Mr. Pete channel right now. He's halfway to the big time. Let's get him to 600, 7, 8, 9, and 1,000. Let's get him monetized like Brighton Cherrier. And let's also subscribe to Brighton Cherrier and get his 200 subs back.
Yeah, get 2,000 subs back. I lost about 200 actually due to the purge. That sucked ass, man.
Mr. Pete, were you going to say something?
Yeah.
Pete, were you going to say something?
No, I'm saying that's rough. He lost 200 subs. That's horrible.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Like I said in my video, I just basically said, dude, if it was like 50 or something, I'd been like, okay. But no, but like I said, 200, dude. I have 2,000, man. That's like literally like 1/6 of your channel subscribers just gone. And I've already gone into why I think they're doing this shit on purpose. But here's the good news. Actually, T-Series lost subscribers. PewDiePie is now 1.38 million subscribers ahead due to the purge. So it backfired on him.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, yes, bitch lasagna.
I also want to give
Subscribe to PewDiePie.
subscribe to PewDiePie. And other people to subscribe to. Thank you to Odin's movie blog for stopping in for a few minutes. That was a great surprise. I just told him to real quickly come in, and that was a surprise to everyone. And Blast
It'd probably be good to shout out Anna, you know. And
shout out to Star Wars Girl, Jesse Milestone, Ivan Ortega for making an appearance with the one and only regular Jeremy, Geeks and Gamers. Go subscribe. Fat chance if you haven't. Go subscribe.
Skyver and Comic Artist Pro Secrets, World Class Bullshitters. And if you guys like World Class Bullshitters, please check it out. I'm gonna have another show with Jeff on there. We're gonna do the fan film, Star Wars fan films part 2. We also have this is our 4th comics show, but we're gonna call it Comic Fans part 2. It's going to be with Doug Tenaple. Going to be on. He created Earthworm Jim. He's made a whole bunch of movies. Like he did all the Netflix Veggie Tales. He did Attack of the Killer Tomato back in the ancient times, back in the day. And it's gonna be a good show. You know, we got a couple of good shows coming. This is going to be in the new year because it's the holidays and all this. But please subscribe to the World Class Bullshitters, Ethan Van Skyver, that Star Wars Girl, Ivan Ortega, Odin's movie blog. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. You're gonna like all kinds of stuff around here.
And real quick, yes, I think it was Mr. Peabody. He said, Kia, poor choice for name of a car company, killed in action. He's always got all these zingers.
There's a lot of veterans out there. I'm a veteran from the 3rd Infantry. I got a traumatic brain injury, and that's why I'm retired now. But I want to shout out all the veterans in the chat. Thank you for your service.
Hallmark channel, Jeremy.
Yep. I mean, I'm a veteran too. Honestly, most people don't know that I'm also a veteran as well. So I mean, it's appreciated.
Oh,
I mean, I
cool.
fought in the Great Meme War of 2016. And it was really.
You son of a bitch!
My brothers.
All right. Okay.
3rd Infantry.
All right. So real quick, I'm going to give everyone just a few moments. If you have anything, we're going to go down the list. Any last thoughts that you want to say before we close it out? We've gone over 3 hours, which is absolutely incredible. And thank you to everybody again who's in the chat. The 30 people who are still watching. Geez, this has been an incredible few days. Thank you so much for this stream. This has been one of my favorite moments ever. We'll start with Caitlin, the keeper of Jeremy's, who's been doing such an amazing job keeping track of everyone. God knows why you decided to do this, but thank you for doing this. You got any final thoughts, Caitlin?
Well, thanks everybody for stopping by the stream, and if you guys want to see my board,
oh my God!
The proof of my insanity, if you can see it.
You are absolutely nuts right now.
I know that. I should go see some therapy.
Okay, I was gonna serious question, Caitlin. When you have friends or your parents come into the room, like how the hell do they explain this to people? Like seriously.
You just don't explain it.
No. You just say, "Oh, my kid just has schizophrenia or something." It's okay. Just she has all these friends, just like penis Jeremy, Dragon Dildo Jeremy. All the classics.
It's also her brother's name.
Yeah, my brother's name is Jeremy, and he's seen it, and he thinks I'm a psycho. And
you should write him on the board actually.
No, he would kill me. But, yeah.
All right, and Clo Commander Jeremy.
Right, well, I've got a few people I'd like to shout out. I would like to list, because there's the list, Mecha Random 42.
Woo!
Doomcock, Overlord DVD.
My arch nemesis. Yeah.
Midnight's Edge After Dark. And Nerdettes channel, because it's not just Geeks and Gamers and the High Council community that is trying to fight against this. We've all got to work together, and we've all got to pitch in if we want to make a real change.
Beautifully
Absolutely.
said. And speaking of which, I want to give a shout out to also Lethal Lightning and the DJDShow as well. They're amazing. They've both had me on their shows. Thank you guys for and go subscribe to their channels as well. They're amazing. Subscribe to Sith Kryptonian as well. Black Angus reviews. Nerdettes NewsStand. There's all these channels, and if I forget to shout you out, I'm so sorry. Yeah, oh my God, this has been awesome. And Force Ghost Jeremy, by the way, I love the look. You got anything to plug? Anything to say?
I just want to say thank you to Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson for making such a bad movie and bringing us all together through Jeremy. Thank you to him. And I also want to say a big thank you to Proper Jeremy hosting this event.
Thank you. It's my pleasure having you on, and it's my pleasure having this. And thank you for coming on as well. I know it's not the time difference isn't always the greatest in the UK, so I'm glad we were able to work something out.
It's okay. It's 11 p.m. here. It's not too bad.
Man, that's got to be thousands and thousands of dollars at least in toys. Come on. Or pounds, you know. That's oh my God. I'm a little jealous. I will confess. That's beautiful.
All right, and Hallmark Channel, Jeremy.
By the way.
Well, what was that? Real quick. What were you saying, Force Ghost?
That's only half of it, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus.
Oh, God.
All right. Hallmark Channel, Jeremy.
Dude, there's so many people that I could probably give a shout out to right now. But first, the Rookie Critic. Sorry, Proper Jeremy, but the Rookie Critic popped my streaming cherry. And
oh my.
And to Puerto Rican Jeremy, Brighton, anybody who has ever signed their name on that dotted line and gave away years of their life, promising up to anything, including their life. Thank you for being on YouTube.
Thank you.
And like Black Angus Reviews, Jeff the Iron Wolf. There are two more veterans. All of you guys are my brothers. Okay.
I know. I know. You know. I don't know. Is it okay to say it? You did a little bit, right? You kind of did your part in there, right?
Yeah.
What's it? I'm a 10-year veteran of the world's greatest Navy, the U.S. Navy.
So I didn't want to be specific. I want to let you do it, but yeah, Navy. A shout out definitely. We're brothers in arms.
We're like the real Jeremy of the military. We will take the fight to you.
Amen, brother. Amen. Look at all these toys. I'm so jealous.
And to all the veterans out there, the ones on the panel and the ones watching, and every single person who has decided to sacrifice their lives for the freedom of their country, we salute you, and we'll never forget.
Real quick. World Class Bullshitters for their stream that they did on Veterans Day. Yeah. And also Odin. Odin did a fantastic Veterans Day video, and it seriously brought a tear to my eye.
Good man.
It's beautiful. Mr. Pete, was that with? Do you have anything else, Hallmark, or?
No, I'm good. I'm done. Thanks.
No, anytime. Mr. Pete. What?
Actually, I'm sorry. To the person who said that I was still nice and young, I love you. You're my favorite person.
Dean's amazing.
Okay, I'm done now.
Mr. Pete?
I'd like to give a few shout outs to, obviously everyone that was just mentioned. I would like to give a shout out to the DJDShow. He's here. I'd like to give a shout out to him. I would also like to give a shout out to two fellow members of this great fandom menace who've been through a hell of a lot. You guys may know him. He's a little channel, but he's growing. The Star Wars Dad. He unfortunately his house was heavily damaged in that hurricane in Florida earlier in the year. But
Wait, that was Panama City, right?
Yeah, Panama City. Yeah. I believe he was in the Mexico Beach area, but fortunately he's okay. He survived. So he's doing okay. I mean, he's doing better, obviously, because he had that horrible hurricane. But, you know, he's thankful to be alive. He's a very deeply religious man, and he's a veteran, too. And I would also like to give a shout-out, because he's been through a lot also. You may know him. I think he's got about 7,000 subscribers. Craig from Reviews for You.
Hey, Pete, you're getting a little muffled. Can you speak up a little bit? Or
I'm sorry. I would also like to give a shout out to Craig. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're great.
Now better.
Yeah, sorry. I would like to give a shout out to Craig from Reviews for You, because he's been through a lot. He's had a couple of operations done on his brain, and he's making a slow recovery. But the important thing is he's making that recovery. So I would like to say, long live this fandom menace we're all part of. So, and I'm going to leave it at that.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Thank you to all the veterans. Thank you for giving me the choice of not joining the military.
Hey, I volunteer, so you're not forced.
Yes, yeah. That's why we don't have a draft, because of people like Puerto Rican Jeremy, who's done I'm sure a wonderful job in the service for us.
All my friends died over there, but I made new ones here, and that means a lot to me.
And Puerto Rican Jeremy, do you have any final thoughts?
I want to shout out World Class Bullshitters, because they were kind of like as one of our fellows here put it, pop my cherry. It was one of the first live streams I was on was with World Class Bullshitters. I met Cecil on that occasion, a great guy, and I want to thank Ivan Ortega. He's been on the stream with me. I'm going to try to get him on Fan Films Part 2 on World Class Bullshitters. I want to shout out all the people that are with Ethan Van Sciver and him for being part of the High Council, all the guys on the High Council. I want to shout out everybody here. I want to shout out Proper Jeremy. I'd like to see this happen more often. If it's up to me, I'll do it once a week, but maybe you got a life. I'm retired, but I got the time. But, I'd love to see this become a regular thing. If you want to get on a schedule or anything, or do it on occasion, it's up to you, your channel, your rules. I'm just offering that suggestion. I'd be completely down, and I would like to, pledge myself as a fellow Jeremy.
Hey, thank you so much, man. We'll see about that. This has definitely been a great stream and an awesome occasion for everybody, for sure. Brian?
Well, I would just say this. I really wanted to say this to Odin, but I know we were strict on time. And
sorry about that. I think
it's okay. But I did want to thank him for his veteran stream. I actually kind of told him this in regards to the one of the streams. It was the Common Sense Crew stream. I just told him. I said, dude, now this time I'm serious. My great uncle fought in World War I, and whenever he remembers, say, dude, I don't really cry all that much, but every time I go to ceremonies, I have a stream of tears coming down my face. And honestly, seeing him pull it off that live stream, because he recognized how much they do for us, even though we don't recognize, I was just like, man, I really wish a lot of people recognize that, regardless of where your stance is in regards politically or anything like that. If you do not recognize what these people have done for us, it really means a lot. So I just want to say, shout out to anybody who's, served in these wars, because people don't recognize how much of the feat they've taken. Just, for me to actually live this life of what I do now. I never met my uncle, but I love him, even though he's probably one of the most influential people I've ever met, even though I never have. But anyways, that's just that one part. But in regards to where I've been in the past year or so, I'm not going to give too much about this. You can find this on my main channel, my channel, but one of the videos, because I recently hit 2,000 subs. I thought I did. With that being said, there was a lot of times within my life, and actually at one point I was living in a very rough part of the city where I live, and I I had no like friends. My life was really boring, just waking up, just grab some food, go out, do whatever. I really believed in this YouTube thing. I really did. And now this is going to sound a bit familiar to you guys. I really did. I've really fought to get this channel off the ground for 2 years. Most people said like, okay, Brighton, you need to stop. You need to actually get a real job. But I just told them no. Even after the apocalypse, I still believed in myself. I really did. I was having trouble. I was only getting like 10, 20 views and stuff like that. But then in August, a political uprising kind of happened up here in Canada. That's this whole PPC shirt, People's Party of Canada. Check them out. And just getting involved politically, like my channel started to boom. And in general, though, as much as like I wasn't successful around the time, just having Jeremy's streams really meant something. Just seeing him and making him laugh and smile, because a smile can go a long ways. And most people don't realize, like, even if you make somebody giggle, you feel like you contributed something today. You felt like you made a difference. And in general, I know sometimes maybe even that joke or reference that may make people in the chat laugh as well. Like when I go to, what was it, Anna, recently she had a stream on her channel. I said, hey, thanks for making my night. And she was like, well, honestly, I don't know why you would say that, but honestly, it wasn't until recently with my channel, especially with it getting bigger and people are kind of saying the same thing to me, I kind of understand it. It just takes that one person to come out and, you know, touch them in the heart to make them feel like, you know, this guy speaks for me. He's saying some of the things that not a lot of people are, and he gives me this happiness, this hope, and just the fact that he can have the guts to go on the camera and do something. And in general, I want to say that to, like, even all you guys right now. Like, we wouldn't even think about a year ago we would be doing this. And the fact is just a bunch of guys just having a good time, having some chats, and just seeing, like, you know, the success all around us just going the way it is. It's really something beautiful. And, you know, just like I said, I really don't have any words for the stream, honestly, except I know that the stream in retrospect is going to hurt me because they're going to say, okay, why is Brian with a Confederate flag right next to him? That's going to hurt my political chances. I can see it right now. Brighton, connections with white supremacists, Confederate flag. I'm Canadian. Shut up. It's a character. Calm your tits. Anyways, but really, though, I just, like I said, I don't have a lot of words. This is a really beautiful thing, just seeing people come together uniting. That's the one thing they are afraid of, the people that we are going up against, is that the one thing that scares them the most is unity. They feed off division. And most people don't realize this. Like, people say that, well, why do all the people within the entertainment industry push this crap about social justice? We don't even care about it. Why do they keep doing it? Because they don't care about you. They care about division. They care about their agenda. They're nihilistic, and they don't really care about anything else but themselves. But we are the actually
well,
real
you know what? If
that,
they give you shit about the flag, just tell them, hey, that's a Democrat flag. Remember, the Democrats fought for slavery, not against it.
All right, all right.
Okay.
That's the short circuit. They got no history. They got no history. They don't pick up the like we do.
I have no part in this. But really, though, guys,
we
gotta stay united. Okay, but really, us being united right now is really a beautiful thing. And honestly, when we actually take into account of where, like, we've been just in the past year alone, wait until next year. That's all I can say. Anyways, guys, I hope to see you all down the road. And I'll just say next time I will just be under Brighton Charrier because you know why. But but this is really something, man.
All right.
Mic drop, man.
I know.
Anyways.
Oh, no, he's back.
Nice shirt. I like that shirt.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, look at that, you know.
Yeah, it's great.
It may be an A cup, but it's a nice one.
Also, sorry, I gotta give a shout out to my dad. I finally watched Alpha Dog. I'm sorry for saying it for the longest time, but I just gotta bring that up for old time's sake. Anyways, I'm done.
I still need to watch that movie.
All right. I just want to say to everybody who's still watching, everybody in the chat, everybody who was on this panel, everyone who was a part of this stream. I know there's a lot of people that I could shout out that I really should. I just can't really think about it right now.
Jeremy was in the chat right now. Sorry.
Oh, where?
Yeah, he said sorry, I couldn't rejoin. Just slammed right now. Again, thank you all for so much support, belief in the Geeks and Gamers community, and your passion. We will make you proud. You know what?
Booyah.
Sorry, I just had to.
Well, if he is still watching, hurry up and get to 100K, you asshole.
Yeah, we want to see the hair, man.
The hair.
Hair reveal. All right, so I'm just going to wrap everything up here. Thank you, everybody who watched, everybody who liked and subbed to my channel, and sub to everybody here. Smash that melee button if you don't mind. Thank you, as regular Jeremy would say. Jeremy, dude, without you, this wouldn't have happened. And I can't believe, and Brighton, you said it beautifully, that with this past year has been just absolutely incredible. I can't believe how far we've come from, just some shitty movie has now brought and united us all together. And that's something that should be done a lot more often. We should be talking about unity instead of playing into the identity politics and everybody who's been, trying to be divisive on purpose. I can't even believe why that would be the case. Why not unite fans instead of try to divide them? That's the complete opposite of what Star Wars is supposed to be. Star Wars is supposed to be something that brings people together. And we, in that spirit, I know this is really silly, that we're just a bunch of clones, a bunch of Jeremys and everything, but it really has brought a lot of joy to my life. And I really appreciate everything that Jeremy has done for me, and everybody else, and for the community, and everyone who's a part of the Fandom Menace. Thank you so much. I can't even tell you. This has just been one of the most incredible streams. I didn't even think that we would have even 20 viewers at all. The fact that 31 people are still watching right now, this is amazing. We've got nearly we got a bunch of likes in here, and this whole community has been amazing. I just want to thank each and every single one of you out there. And I just want to let you know that you are not alone. No matter what you're going through right now, somebody is going through something similar, and all you got to do is just reach out, breathe. What do you see? I'm sorry, that was really bad. But anyways,
I'll tell you what I see. I see when different perspectives come together, you get a better view. And that's
exactly. And all right, and I'm going to cut this off now. Thank you, everybody, so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for this Council of Jeremys. I almost thought that this wasn't going to happen at all. I was really worried about it, and I was, you could ask anybody here. I was just panicking, writing up down a list of topics and stuff, because the last couple of days of, being in the hospital and everything, I thought, I was supposed to be preparing for this, and you can kind of tell that it was a little. With the topics and everything, and the lack of preparation was very clear. But I'm glad it worked out, and I'm really glad that everyone had a great time. Everyone's enjoying it. Thank you so much. Swig of water to everybody out there. And
for those working and lurking.
Absolutely.
The links to everybody's channel should be in the chat. I dropped them all.
I hope you actually drop my channel, though, Caitlin, not the redneck one. Please don't.
I dropped your channel. Don't worry.
Thank you all so much for joining, maybe we'll have another stream like this someday. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. And
someday soon.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yep, and last but not least, may the Force be with you, because we are going to need it. Not Star Wars girl. Thank you for that. May the Force be with you and everybody out there. This has been a great stream. I'll talk to you later.